Now comes the tricky part of making sure that everybody can see the YouTube window. Show YouTube. Update. Everybody reload and join us. And let me know when you can hear me, because this is going to be a super fun night of Stewards Cup racing. That's the best kind of racing. Allie can hear me. Hi, Allie. Nina can hear me. Hi, Nina. Guess that's it. Those are the most important people, right? I can say that because no one else is listening yet. Oh, Sten's listening. All right, well, that's enough. Three's a crowd. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the 47th Stewards Cup night, the first one. And, sorry, watching someone destroy headphones. Anyway, so today's the Stars of Tomorrow program, which is all the 2-year-old races. Those got moved to Thursday about almost 20 sim years ago. It used to be that we had all, like, whatever, 24 races or 26 races on this one day. That was aggressive. I don't recommend doing that anymore. So, anyway, now we have them on Thursday, and it's a great day of racing, in my humble opinion. Just because, like, they get their own recognition. They don't have to go up against, like, the turf and the classic and the races that are really intense. So make sure that you guys bet tonight. The first race does have a really good betting pool, so I'm very happy about that. Allie Hedgestone is in charge of linking you to the races in between each thing. That made sense. It did. So now she's really nervous, although she really shouldn't be. But tonight's MC is someone who has never MC'd before. And let's be really nice to her and only pick on her a little bit, because otherwise it's just not kind. And please welcome for the very first time, one Miss Nene Hunter.
Hello, Simsters. Am I good? Can everybody hear me? Oh, okay. All right. So the first race on the card tonight is the Grade 1 Stewards Cup Filly Dash. They're going to run 5.5 furlongs on the turf here, and a field of 11 fillies is going to go to the post. We start on the rail with Blue Compost, an Art Cage homebred. The black filly is sired by the Black Glove and is out of the pit road mare, Natalie Maines. She's 3 for 6 lifetime in her career with earnings of $146,000 about, but she's never been off the board. She broke her maiden second time out in the Conformist Stakes by 2 lengths over another filly in this race, scot-free. She earned an 86 in that effort, but next time out in the Soft Down Stakes, she met Class, another filly in here, and couldn't beat her, finishing a length and 3/4 behind her in second. She was able to rebound again in the Love Songs at Dawn Stakes, winning by a length over a String of Clouds with an 86 speed figure. In the Hold My Hand Stakes next out, she ran into Class once more and was unable to beat her again. However, in her final prep for this, the Bullet Bus Stakes in week 13, she led wire to wire and was finally able to get her revenge on Class. Number 2 is Class, her aforementioned rival. This filly is trained by Pete Vela and was bred by the Steward. She's by the outstanding young sire Time Lord and is out of the Hand of God mare, Praying Hands. She's 5 for 6 lifetime, but she hasn't finished any worse than second in her career. She's earned over $200,000. She kicked off her career with wins in the Gently Weep Stakes, the Worm Stakes, and the Soft Down Stakes, winning those races with an 86, 87, and 85 respectively, and in that last race, the Soft Downs, she beat the aforementioned Blue Compost. Stepping up in a graded company in the Kismet Stakes week 8, she was able to win by 2 lengths over Stars for My Lady, earning an 87 in that race, a career best. In the Hold My Hand Stakes week 11, she beat Blue Compost again, winning by a length and a quarter with an 86 speed figure. However, as mentioned prior, in her final prep, the Bullet Bus, she was unable to outrun her rival Blue Compost, and she had to settle for second for the first time in her career. Will she rebound tonight? Number 3 is the very, very hyped up and very classy filly, Cannot Be Apart. This filly is currently being trained by Carl Smythe and is bred by the Steward. She was purchased for $3.1 million as a yearling, and she is sired by Together or Not at All and is out of the Looking Alive mare, Loyal to the Last. An unbeaten 6 for 6 and with over $800,000 in earnings, this filly screams absolute class. She debuted week 1 down in Australia in the Full Belly Plate Stakes, winning by 4 lengths with a whopping 100 speed figure, which is crazy, one of only 2 fillies to do that this year. She came back in the Miss Brissy and won that pretty easily before being dropped into an easy allowance race and winning that by over 3 lengths with a 92 speed figure. After that, she took on the boys for the first time in the very, very prestigious Instant Millions Juvenile, a Grade 1 race. In that race, she dead heated with Ain't Beat Yet, the colt, for the victory, and they were 3 3/4 lengths in front of Strong and Free. Following that, she ran back in the White Diamond Stakes, another Grade 1 for the colts down in Australia with one of those monstrous purses, and drew off to win by 2 3/4 lengths in the stretch. After that, she wheeled back in the Grade 1 Silver Slipper Stakes, and she won that too, winning by 2 lengths over Ain't Beat Yet with an 89 speed figure. She's obviously the favorite in this race, and the big question remains, can she win the trio, come back 2 weeks later after a transcontinental ship, and win the Stewards Cup? It's claimed plenty of favorites before. Will it do the same to her? Time will tell. Number 4 is Rogue. Rogue is a homebred for Laura Smith, one of the Sim's premier turf sprint aficionados. The Bay filly is sired by a Gentle Touch and out of the reach of the Moonmare Deschutes. She's 5 for 6 lifetime, but has never finished worse than second, and has earned $237,000 so far. She won a main special weight race week 1 before winning the Bayakoa Stakes and Rio Juvenile Filly Sprint back-to-back. Stepping up into graded company for the first time in the Copa Hughes Stakes, she won that by 3 lengths over Termination Bliss, with an 85 speed figure. However, she blundered in an Argentinian race, the Grade 3 Gran Premio Jorge de Atucha Stakes, losing by 2.5 lengths to Outlasting Demons, who's also running in this race. She only managed a 77 in that race, but then she shipped to Japan for the week 13 Apache Cat Stakes, a Grade 1, and she rebounded in a big way, winning that race by almost 6 lengths and earning a 100 speed figure. Will she bounce today, or will she just run back to that absolutely monstrous form? Number 5 is Silver Taps. She's a homebred for yours truly, Nini Hunter. The Grey filly is sired by Fez and is out of the As to War mare, Almighty Warzone, which makes her a half-sister to 2 Stewards Cup winners in Status Almighty and Almighty Status. She's 5 for 6 lifetime with 1 off-the-board performance with earnings of $244,000 to her name. She started off her career by winning the Dark Fantasy Stakes by 2 lengths over Two Hearts As One, a filly who's also running in this race, breaking from the outside post. She followed that up with wins in the World Charmant Stakes and the Resonance Stakes, winning by 4.5 and 2 lengths respectively. She won the Lemons Forever Stakes after that, week 9 by a length with an 89, before running a career best performance in her first graded stakes try, the Jam Stakes, where she won by 3 lengths with a great 90 speed figure. However, after that, in the Canto Stakes, she faltered for the first time in her career. She broke poorly and never got her head in the game, and she finished 4th and last behind Two Hearts As One, who finally got her revenge on Silver Taps. Will she rebound and improve off her best performance? We shall see. Number 6 is Gather Courage, another Laura Smith trainee. The chestnut filly was bred by the Steward and sold for $3.6 million as a yearling at the TBS sale last year. She's sired by the great young sire Gentle Courage and is out of the adorable Soldier Field mare Selfies. She's 6 for 7 lifetime with 1 third place victory with about $230,000 to her name. She first ran week 1 in France and winning a main special weight race pretty easily, and followed that up with wins in the Star of Wonder Stakes and the Stormy Weather Stakes. After that, she won the Little Princess Stakes by a length and 3/4 with an 83 speed figure before stepping up to before stepping up into graded company for the first time in the Queen of London Stakes. There she could only manage to be 3rd behind Say How You Feel, who's also running in this race, and Hear From You. However, she came back in 2 weeks later in the County Kildare Stakes, another Grade 3, and led wire to wire to win by a neck after holding off Here For You, who beat her in the race prior. She won her final prep for this race 2 weeks ago in Great Britain, the Grade 3 Pride and Prejudice Stakes. She tracked the pace throughout and then drew off to win by 3 lengths with a 90 speed figure, which was also her career best. Number 7 is Say How You Feel. This bay filly is trained by Nikki Everdeen and bred by the Steward. Her sire is Does It Need Saying, and she's out of the Stewards Cup winning Reach for the Moonmare, It's All About You. She's 4 for 5 lifetime with 1 third place finish and $147,000 earned to her name so far. She started off her career by winning the Jumpstart Stakes and the Light of Blue Stakes back-to-back. After that, she shipped over to Spain to win the Copa de las Niñas Stakes by a length and 3/4 with an 84 speed figure. After that, she shipped over to the Queen of London Stakes, a Grade 2 event, where she won by a length and a half pretty easily for her first graded stakes victory with career best 89 speed figure. After that, she stayed in Great Britain and 3 weeks later ran in the Dashing Through the White Stakes, where she finished third behind I've Got a Secret and Superficial Love, neither of whom are in this race. Number 8 is the co-favorite, or at least so I assume is the co-favorite, Cat Named Boots. This fantastic Brian Levitt homebred is sired by Mr. Gray and out of the silent jigmare, Paid to Dance.
Introducing Amazon Prints, the new way to turn your
Based in
digital
Australia,
photos
she
into
started off her
high-quality
career
prints,
winning 2
photo
stakes
books,
consecutively,
and
the
much
Rift
more.
Valley and the Terrace Touch Stakes, before stepping up in a graded company for the first time in the South African Fillies Nursery Stakes, a Grade 2. She won that race by a length and 3/4 after leading throughout. She then went back to listed stakes in the Cora National Park Stakes, where she led throughout and won wire to wire again by 2 1/4 lengths. After that, it was back to South Africa for the Drastic Fantastic Stakes, a Grade 3, where she won by a length, which set her up great for her final prep, the Grade 1 Diamonds and Pearls Stakes, which she won by 2.5 lengths over Happy Days Are Here with a career best 90 speed figure. A victory by this undefeated 6for6 filly would mean the world to Brian Levitt, as I've recently found out that he in fact named this filly after his first ever pet, a cat that he decided to name Boots. So extra sentimental value there for that one. Number 9 is Scott Free. Scott Free is owned and trained by Pete Vela and bred by the Steward. The Dark Bay filly is sired by Lord of Lords and is out of the Keep Me in the Dark mare, Appy Shapa. She's 4 for 5 lifetime with 1 second place finish so far, with $239,000 in earnings. She started off her career by winning the Submissive Stakes before finishing second behind Blue Compost in the Conformance Stakes 2 weeks later. After that, she had a 3-week break before coming back and winning the Marie Matthews Stakes by 2 3/4 lengths. She followed it up with a win in the Grade 2 Cabaret Stakes by a length and a half over Starry Nights. She won her final prep, the Philly Turf Dash in Florida, week 12, by a length and a half, earning an 86 speed figure. However, that was 4 weeks ago, and many people believe that coming into the Stewards Cup off of a 4-week break isn't ideal. Will she win despite that? Number 10 is Laurie Hamill's Two Hearts as One. This Steward bred filly was sold for $1.7 million at the TBS yearling sale last year, and she's by the fantastic young sire Chromed Twin Moon and out of the silent jigmare Unbreak My Heart. 4 for 6 lifetime, this filly has never finished off the board. She met Silver Taps in her first start and got second, but 2 lengths behind her before bouncing back in the Change of the Star Stakes, winning by 3.5 lengths over Broken Silence. In her third race, she ran into Silver Taps again, but could only manage third in the Resonance Stakes. After that, she stayed in Canada for the Thread Stakes, tracking the leader throughout and overtaking at the end, winning by a length over the Witness with an 83 speed figure. In the Reassure Stakes 2 weeks later, she led wire to wire, won by a length and a quarter. And after that, in the Canto Stakes, a Grade 3 event, which was her final prep, she led wire to wire throughout and got her revenge on Silver Taps, winning by 2 lengths with an 86 speed figure. Last but not least, in breaking from the 11 post, we have Amy Atkins' Outlasting Demons. This Steward bred filly sold for $1.5 million earlier this year at the TBS 2-year-old in training sale. She's sired by many knights and is out of the Pit Road mare Demon's Run, a half-sister to Fez. She's 4 for 5 lifetime with only 1 second place finish. And that second place finish came in her maiden race behind Perfection on Air. She bounced back 2 weeks later in another maiden special weight, winning by 2 3/4 lengths with an 81. She stepped up in a Grade 3 company in the Gran Premio Jorge de Atucha Stakes, a Grade 3, winning by 2.5 lengths over Rogue, who's competing in this race as well. After that, she ran in Argentina's Startup Stakes, a Grade 3 event, where she won by a length and a half over Second Choice, which set her up fantastically for her final prep, the Grade 3 Premio Tanteo de Potrancas Stakes, where she won by 3 lengths. And that's the field for the Stewards Cup Filly Turf Dash. You're good. And now here's the Steward for the call.
Thanks, everybody. Well, I just wanted Nini to know that I have, in the time that she took to preview one race, received 3 compliments on how excellent she is doing. So, good job, Nini, and keep it up. We are 2 minutes to post, although I'll probably call the race a little bit early just because we've got such a jam-packed schedule today. Betting pool's at $37,600, but don't forget that I seriously still don't know where everything is in Sim 7.0. Don't forget that this weekend, tomorrow, is the payout for the Pick 6 and the, the Pick 4, Daily Double. They all have guaranteed payouts tomorrow, or at least the Pick 6 does. Okay, I'm just making sure that I need to close. Yes, so the Pick 4 will close during this, right before this call. So you have 1 minute to get your pick 4 bet in. Uno minute to get your pick 4 bet in. For those, I have received numerous messages worrying about my food consumption for the day after the chip incident of week 16 Monday. I have consumed 1 slice of pizza, and soon I will be having some rice. So don't worry, it's not just chips tonight, guys. Alright, we're going to close the betting in about 10 seconds. 10, 9, blah, whatever's next. Another number. Excuse me. Once again, please don't be too mad if I'm a little bit dyslexic. I'm working on it. I'm not at my best at the moment, but I'm really trying, guys. Alright, the betting is going to close for this race and for the pick everything. The betting pool is going to close for this Philly Turf Dash at $38,100. Good job, guys. This is a field of 11 going 5.5 furlongs on the grass. And this is such a nice field. I love it. So, yeah. Except for that the name Blue Compost seems aggressive. Like, I don't know what that is. Someone fill me in. Sounds like trash. Okay. This is a $1 million race. And they're off in the Stewards Cup. Outlasting Demons was 1 step slow, as was Silver Taps, who had to take up off of that one. Gather Courage goes out to the lead. Cat Named Boots shows speed, and Silver Taps then Cannot Be Apart, outlasting Demons after the bad break, and Two Hearts is 1. Blue Compost is back 7th alongside Say How You Feel, Class, then Scott Free and Rogue, who is the early trailer. They are whipping around that far turn, and Gather Courage leads by 2. She's rolling out here with Cat Named Boots chasing her, then Silver Taps, outlasting Demons and Cannot Be Apart. Here's Say How You Feel. Two Hearts is 1, is asked to go, then Blue Compost. They're whipping into the stretch, and Gather Courage, she leads by 3 lengths. Cat Named Boots is trying to run her down, but is going to have trouble, not doing enough. Silver Taps and outlasting Demons, but Gather Courage in a runaway performance in the Philly Turf Dash. Cat Named Boots is going to end up 3 lengths behind 2nd. Silver Taps almost got there. She's 3rd, and then outlasting Demons and Cannot Be Apart. The official winner is Gather Courage. This is a 2-year-old chestnut filly by Gentle Courage out of Selfies by Soldier Field. Laura Smith owns this one, who is bred by the Steward and is now 7 for 8 lifetime. If you had shown me Gather Courage and her stablemate Rogue like 3 weeks ago, the last time I looked at this division, and Rogue had just ran that 100 speed figure, and you said to me, Gather Courage is going to beat her, I would have been like, no, she's not. But unfortunately for Rogue, she went boing and bounced to the moon. Love the performance by Cat Named Boots. Clearly wasn't going to get to the winner, but ran very gamely. Alright, well, I should shush because we only have 8 minutes to post, and this is a field of 14. So Nini's going to have to pull off a miracle to make this happen, but I believe in her.
All right, everyone, let's get started. Let's not beat around the bush. Number 1 is the favorite Weak Strong Heart, owned by Amy Atkins and bred by the Steward. He was purchased for $2.5 million as a yearling and is by Chautauqua out of the Beat Black Mare Beat of Your Heart. An undefeated 7 for 7. It's pretty unfortunate that this guy breaks from the rail, as he is undefeated, and that's going to compromise him. He won the Iron Stakes, the Cord Stakes, and the Gifted Stakes back to back to back, earning a 90 in the Gifted Stakes. He came back in the Sahara Dune Stakes and won that before following it up with a win in the Knightsbridge Roach Stakes over Come Into Being. After that, he won the My Leech Stakes by 2.5 with an 88 speed figure before winning his final prep, the Lionized Stakes, by 3.25 lengths with a career best 91. Will he overcome the rail is the question. Number 2 is Jack of All Trades, owned by Xander Zone and bred by the Steward. This $2.1 million purchase is sired by Jacking Around and out of the fantastic mare Closet Monster. 4 for 5 lifetime with 1 second place and earnings of $131,000. He won his second race at non-winners of 2 lifetime to break his maiden wire to wire by 4.5 lengths. After that, he won the South Fork Stakes, the Texas Grassfire Stakes, and then won his final prep, the Grade 2 Barbados Juvenile Turf, by a length over another dance. Number 3 is Friends First. This colt was purchased for $2.75 million as a yearling by the super sire Reach for the Moon and out of Beat Black mare I Believe in Trust. 4 for 5 lifetime with 1 third place finish. He broke his maiden second time out in a maiden special weight race before stepping up into the Grade 2 Big Ben Stakes, winning that along with the Common Folk Stakes after that, and then winning the Grade 1 Bronze Horseshoe Week 13 over Suta Toriku. Number 4 is another Laura Smith trainee, Strong and Free. Strong and Free, the black colt, is sired by Gentle Touch out of the Look Courageous mare Courageous Sound, is 3 for 6 lifetime with 1 off the board for finish. He broke his maiden week 1 in Australia before following it up with the Win Some, Lose Some Stakes victory, winning by a length and a half. After that, he finished second to Ain't Beat Yet in the Australian Sire Stakes before finishing third in the Grade 1 Instant Millions Juvenile. After that, he finished fourth in the Grade 1 White Diamond Stakes before he was dropped in class for the listed Newcomer Stakes, which he won by 3 lengths with a career best 90 speed figure. Number 5 is Urban War. Urban War, 3 for 6 lifetime, the son of Being Ridiculous out of the As to War mare Music City War, is a homebred for Tion Long. He broke his maiden week 1 and followed up with a victory in the Moscow Juvenile Trial in the Grade 2 South African Nursery before faltering in all 3 of his stake starts in the United States, the 5 Circle Stakes, the Don't Stakes, and the Grade 1 Favorite Trick Stakes. Will he be able to overcome it and get back to form? We shall see. Number 6 is To Make a Villain, owned and bred by yours truly, Nene Hunter. He's by Pit Road and out of the Typhoon Bay mare Villain Status. 2 for 6 lifetime and off the board, never off the board, actually, don't even know my own horse, way to go, me. He won the 3 Ring Stakes first out and then with the 3rd place finish in the Low Kite Magic and the Justify Stakes before bouncing back in the Right Hand Man Stakes. He finished 3rd in the Doak Stakes before running into One Night Out, another horse in here, in the Sanjaya Stakes, his final prep, where he finished 2nd. Number 7 is Now You See Me. Now You See Me is also owned by yours truly, and he is bred by the Steward and was purchased for $5 million as a yearling by virtue of being a half-sibling to See You Monday. Sired by Fez and out of the Reach for the Moon mare See You By, he's 4 for 2 lifetime. He didn't win his first race before rebounding in a non-winners of 2, and then won the Grade 3 Eclipse Trophy with an 87 before finishing 5th in the Grade 3 Stratocaster Stakes. Number 8 is a horse I connect to spiritually. His name is Socially Inept, and he is another homebred for Art Cage. The chestnut colt was sired by Gentle Courage and is out of the Reach of the Moon mare Celestial Chains. 4 for 6 lifetime and only off the board once, he's earned $164,000 in earnings so far. He started off his career by winning the Kickstart Stakes, the Star of Night Stakes, and the Stormy Sky Stakes back to back, winning with an 86, an 83, and 87 speed figure respectively before stepping up in a graded company in the Big Ben Stakes, where he finished 4th behind Friends First, Stand Back, and Perfect Day Today. After that, he finished 2nd in the Copa de los Niños Stakes behind Special Report, who is also in this race, I believe, or not, I don't know, and then won the Grade 3 Dubliner Stakes by a length to win his final prep here. Number 9 is One Night Out. One Night Out is owned by Nicky Everdeen and bred by the Steward, a $2.3 million purchase. He is by Sepieton out of Buena Vista, 2 for 2 lifetime, got a late start. He won a main special weight race week 11 before winning the Sanjaya Stakes over to Make a Villain week 13. Number 10 is Rhodey, a homebred for Louise Bayou. He's sired by Autate out of the Pit Road mare Eloquent. 3 for 5 lifetime and off the board once, almost $150,000 in the bank. He won the Tulloch Stakes week 1, finished 2nd in the Paul Revere Stakes after that before winning the No Bias, No Hate Stakes with an 85 and following it up with a Grade 3 win in the Gran Premio Montevideo Stakes, winning by a length and 3/4. After that, he faltered and finished 4th in the Sanjaya Stakes behind One Night Out and To Make a Villain. Number 11, is Sir Roderick, a homebred for Dave McKay, the chestnut colt sired by Reach for the Moon and out of the Keep Me in the Dark mare KO'd. This horse is 2 for 5 lifetime with one off the board finish with just over $50,000 to his name. He won his first outing in main special weight race before failing to win both the Stormy Sky Stakes and the Leprechaun Stakes, where he was both 2nd. He won his 2nd race when he was dropped in company to an allowance race and then came over to the States for the Favorite Trick Stakes, in which he finished 5th. This horse has never won a stakes race. Number 12 is Walls Crash Down. Walls Crash Down, owned by Lee Cara, bred by the Steward, a $1.75 million purchase. He's by Damascus Sword out of the Lord Canola mare Music of the Night, 3 for 4 lifetime with 1 second place victory. He's earned $222,000 so far. He didn't win his first race, the Nippon Stakes, but he rebounded in the Grade 3 Nakayama Pass Stakes, winning by a neck with an 86 speed figure. He followed it up with a victory in the Singapore Juvenile Sprint with a career best 88 speed figure before winning the Grade 1 Lord Canola Stakes Week 13 with an 87. Number 13 is Coming to Being, and Coming to Being is owned by Nicky Everdeen and bred by the Steward. He was purchased for about $3.2 million as a yearling, sired by Being Ridiculous, and is out of the Typhoon Bay mare, Stormfronts. 3 for 5 lifetime, he's never been worse than second. He finished second in the Iron Stakes first time out before winning the Paul Revere Stakes and the Scarlet Knight Stakes back-to-back before finishing behind the favorite in here, Weak Strong Heart, in his race after that, the Knightsbridge Road Stakes. He then won the Grade 3 Stratocaster Stakes over the next horse in this field, Great American Road. Breaking from the outside post, Great American Road is a homebred for Carol Hansen, sired by Fez and out of the Great American Novel mare Moonheart. It took 3 tries for him to break his maiden, which he did in the main special weight race in Week 7 before following it up with a non-winners to 2 win with an 84 after that before he went into the Grade 3 Stratocaster Stakes, which he finished second behind Come Into Being. That is the field, just in time. I pass it back to the steward for the call.
Since we have about 30 seconds, let me just remind you guys about the week 17 situation. Year 17 was 20 years, 30 years ago. Oh my god, we're old. So you may know, if you've seen our billions of posts about it, that EquestriaCon is starting this coming weekend. It's not technically starts Sunday night, but it's Monday and Tuesday. And the Sim's going to have a booth there. Please stop by if you're going to be in the Saratoga Springs area, because we will love that. And we're giving away pretty cool prizes and gifts for people who come by the booth. So yeah, make sure you do that. But anyway, unfortunately, EquestriaCon decided to schedule themselves right during break, which is not convenient for anybody, especially if you're a brand new player trying to sign up for the game, and we're like, yay, thanks for signing up, now go sit on your thumbs for 2 weeks, because, yeah, we don't race right now. So anyway, for the 2 days of EquestriaCon, we are going to have racing those days. We've called it Week 17 because what else are we going to call it? It's only for people who sign up during those 2 days. It does not affect your life at all, not even a little bit, except for that it's not technically break time. So there's good and bad to this. The bad is that your horsies you'll be charged day rates for those days or whatever it is. The other stuff is that you'll get extra rest during those 2 days. So your horses will go into the new year 2 extra days rested than normal. Sorry, but we did a judgment call and decided this was a good idea. Better than not having signups have nowhere to go. So anyway, betting pool is going to close at $41,000. Good job, you guys. As Nini said, I do believe the favorite in here is the colt on the rail, and that is Weak Strong Heart, who I literally just found out these are colts. I thought we were doing fillies back to back. I don't know why. They're off in the Turf Dash, and it was a pretty good break for all 14 runners. One Night Out along the rail gets going, and there's Jack of All Trades, Rhodey, Walls Crash Down, and To Make a Villain, then Strong and Free, Great American Road, Weak Strong Heart, Taken Back Through the Crowd, then Now You See Me, Come Into Being, Socially Inept, Urban War, Friends First, and Sir Roderick is the early trailer. So it's One Night Out whipping around the turn. The pace is solid with Jack of All Trades second. Rhodey is third, then Walls Crash Down, To Make a Villain, Strong and Free, Great American Road, and Weak Strong Heart. That one gets the cue to go now. So does Now You See Me and Come Into Being. They're at the top of the stretch. One Night Out is all out, Jack of All Trades, but here comes Weak Strong Heart down the middle of the track. Strong and Free, Rhodey, Walls Crash Down, but Weak Strong Heart just blows past them all. And as expected, it is the favorite, Weak Strong Heart, who's going to run away to win by 2. One Night Out could not hold that one off in a second. Strong and Free third, then Jack of All Trades and Rhodey. The official winner is Weak Strong Heart. This is a 2-year-old gray colt by Chautauqua out of Beat of Your Heart by Beat Black. This one was another one bred by the Steward, which is funny because just like a few hours ago I was whining that I'm really terrible at breeding turf sprinters. How'd that go for me? And is owned by Amy Atkins. This is Amy Atkins's 4th Stewards Cup win. She has been playing... Oh, she's the same age I am. She has been playing since year 19. That's that race. Next up, we go on the dirt for the Juvenile Fillies Sprint. This is a field of 9. Post time is in 7 minutes. Get your bets in, and here is Nini.
All right, let's get to it. Number 1 is Demoralization, a homebred from Mike Bryant. This gray filly was sired by Walk-Off Grand Slam and is out of the After It Rains mare, Raining on Your Day. She's unbeaten 6 for 6 in her career and has earnings of $287,000. She kicked off her career by winning the Awesome Dancer Stakes wire to wire, following it up with a win in the Truly It Is Stakes and the Kayak Stakes. She then won the Grade 2 Silver Bullet Day Stakes by 2 lengths and followed that up with a win in the Grade 2 Razzmatazz Stakes. It set her up perfectly for her final prep in Week 14, the Grade 3 Sabre Stakes, which she won by a length and 3/4. Number 2 is On Looks Alone. This filly is owned by Mike Larson and is bred by the Steward. She's sired by If Looks Could and is out of the Keyvan mare, All My Loving. This $5.7 million purchase is 4 for 6 lifetime, but has never been off the board. She broke her maiden second time out in a maiden special weight race before winning the Look It Stakes with an 85 speed figure by a length and 1/4. She followed it up with a win in the Grade 3 Style Stakes, winning by 2 lengths over Bump. After that, she won the Isa Lassie Stakes in a career best performance, where she won by a length with a 90 speed figure before finishing 3rd in her final prep behind Treat Her Right and Walking in Light. Number 3 is Stared Down. This filly is a homebred for Abe Froman, who's known to be a force in this division. She's sired by Walk-Off Grand Slam and is out of the Look I Am Scary mare, Lasting Looks. 4 for 7 lifetime, she's never been worse than second and has earned just under $300,000 in her career. She won the Sahara Gold Stakes and the Inconsolable Stakes back-to-back to start her career, both with 87s, before finishing second behind Grey Lake in the Inglewood Nursery Stakes. After that, she rebounded in the Evanescence Stakes, winning by a length and a half over Rainbow Walk, before she ran into Apple Bottom Jeans in the Grade 2 Mia Farah Stakes. Apple Bottom Jeans met her again in the Grade 1 Oceanside Debutante, beating her by a length and a half. She was able to rebound, though, in the First Step Stakes Grade 3 Race Week 14, and she won by a length and 3/4. Number 4 is Kissin' Stairwells. This horse is owned by Pete Vela and is bred by the Steward. A $2 million purchase, she's sired by Robespierre and is out of the Promises and Lies mare, Kiss Me Farewell. An unbeaten 6 for 6 as well, she has earned $300,000 to the T in her career. She started off by winning the Texas Precocity Sprint Division 2 with an 85 before following it up with a walkover in the Trial by Summers Graduate Stakes. She won the Amour Vincent Vitae Stakes after that by a length and a half with an 86. That she then followed it up with a win in the Grade 3 Lost Ecstasy Stakes by a length and a half, and then won the Grade 1 Spinning Around Stakes by a length with a career best 88 speed figure. She then won the Beautiful Swan Stakes Week 13 to finish up her prep. Number 5 is This Is Our Home, another one for Mike Larson. This one's also bred by the Steward. Sold earlier this year at the 2-year-old in training sale for just over $2 million. She's sired by Half Truth and out of the Great White mare, Shark Bay. 3 for 5 lifetime, she's only been off the board once, and that was in her maiden. She came back second time out to break her maiden in a maiden special weight race by 3.5 lengths, earning an 85, which she duplicated in the Chica Stakes 2 weeks after that. She followed that race up with a win in the Starlet Stakes, where she won by half a length over the Fashion Show, who's also in this race. After that, she finished second to the aforementioned Stare Down in the Grade 3 First Step Stakes Week 14. Number 6 is Take a Long Look. Take a Long Look is currently being raced by Josh Bordeaux and is bred by Art Vandelay. The gray filly was sired by If Looks Could and is out of the Look Close mare, Blink I'm Close. 6 for 6 lifetime, she's earned $275,000 in her career. She started off her career by winning the Ohio Princess Stakes and the Really Excellent Stakes back-to-back before stepping up into the Grade 3 Party Stakes, winning wire-to-wire by 2 1/4 lengths with an 86 speed figure. She then won the Grade 3 Phantom Escapade Stakes and the Grade 3 Never Perfect Stakes before winning her final prep, the Geyser Stakes, crushing the field by 4 lengths in wire-to-wire fashion with a career-best 90 speed figure. Number 4 is the very cleverly named Apple Bottom Jeans, a homebred for Pete Vela. This filly was named after her mother, a Look Thunder mare called Big Old Booty. She's sired by a walk-off Grand Slam and is undefeated 6 for 6 lifetime with earnings of almost $400,000. She kicked off her career with wins in the Golden Spur Stakes, Salutation Stakes, and Angel Stakes, winning wire-to-wire in all 3 of them before stepping up in a graded company in the Mustang Park Debutante, in which she won by a length and 3/4 with an 88 speed figure. After that, she beat Stare Down in the Grade 2 Mia Farah Stakes by 2.5 lengths with a career best 89 speed figure before running that number back in the Grade 1 Oceanside Debutante, winning by 1.5 lengths. Another one coming in off the 4-week break. Can she do it? Number 8 is the Fashion Show. This filly is owned by Brianna McKenzie and bred by the Steward. Sired by Lord Snow, she's out of the Bizzarini mare Angels in the Radio. 3 for 6 lifetime, but never off the board. This filly won her maiden, the Battles Baby Girl Stakes, by 1.5 lengths before finishing third in the Really Excellent Stakes, and followed it up with another third-place finish in the Twin Spire Stakes. A drop in company into a non-winners of 2 lifetime got her another win before she finished second in the Starlet Stakes week 14. However, she won her final prep in California, the Grade 3 Soft Shoes Stakes. To round out the field, we have number 9, As Free as the Sea. This horse is owned by Ronnie D and bred by the Steward. A $1.3 million purchase. She's by California Stars and out of the Quicker Than Light mare, As Light as Air. 5 for 6 lifetime and never worse than third. She's earned just over $100,000. She started her career by winning a main special weight race by a length with an 85 and followed it up with victories in the Texas Filly Trials and Mardi Gras Filly Stakes. After that, she could only manage to be third in the Surprise Stakes behind See Her Sway and Look Back Now. And then she won a race that I'm not going to try and pronounce by a length and a quarter with an 83 speed figure before winning her final prep, the All Saints Day Lassie, by a length. And that rounds out the field with a minute to go. Here's the Steward.
Thanks, Nini. She's doing a great job. I am super impressed. So obviously the horse that we are all looking for in this race is Apple Bottom Jeans, Pete with the fur, etc. and so forth. So, yeah, I promise I'd sing it. Pretty sure that during the race I'm going to sing it every time. Just kidding. I won't remember. Oh, Nini, mute your mic before you do that. That was loud. So, the betting pool closes at $18,700. This is a very, very good field. Sorry, I'm just looking at them. Like, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 undefeated horses in here. That's the bomb. One off the board finish. Someone should have been listening to the pregame show. Okay, anyway, they're in the gate. Let's get this one going. These are 9 fillies going 5.5 on the dirt. They're off, and it was a perfect start for all 9 fillies. Take a Long Look bolts out to the lead. Apple Bottom Jeans is there too, and those two go on with it. The Fashion Show up into third, then This Is Our Home, Demoralization, On Looks Alone, Stare Down, Kissin' Stairwells, and As Free as the Sea is the early trailer. But they're tightly grouped as they whip around the turn, and Take a Long Look has a neck advantage on Apple Bottom Jeans. Those two are 5 lengths in front of the Fashion Show. This Is Our Home, Demoralization, Kissin' Stairwells coming on now, and On Looks Alone has a lot to do. They're into the stretch, and Take a Long Look and Apple Bottom Jeans, these two are throwing it down in the lane. Take a Long Look and Apple Bottom Jeans, they're 3 lengths clear of This Is Our Home in the Fashion Show. Take a Long Look on the inside, Apple Bottom Jeans on the outside. They're nose and nose, and now Take a Long Look is clearing her. Take a Long Look, she's going to be the winner by a length. Take a Long Look with the mild upset in the Stewards Cup June Filly Sprint. Apple Bottom Jeans was second, and This Is Our Home rallied for third. The official winner is Take a Long Look. This is a 2-year-old gray filly by If Looks Could out of Blink, I'm Close by Look Close. She is owned by Josh Bordeaux, who I'm pretty sure this is his first Stewards Cup win. It is! Congratulations, Josh Bordeaux! And this is an Art Vandelay bred who was actually a $125,000 lease this year, and she has now earned almost $1 million. Kudos, Josh Bordeaux, on going 7 for 7, and because you won a grade 1 race over 250,000 or whatever it is, you get to race this horse next year without even trying to get her. Good for you. Next up, we have the boys' version of this race, which is the juvenile sprint. Only 7 horses in here, so if Nini gets through them really fast, we're going to have a contest. So let's stop talking, Steward, and get to the Nini.
All right, I know everyone wants a contest, so let's go. Number 1 is Make My Million. Make My Million is owned by Xander Zone and bred by the Steward. Purchased for a whopping $6.1 million as a yearling, he was sired by Walk-Off Grand Slam and is out of the Happy Times Ahead Mare Survivor. 4 for 6 lifetime, he's never been worse than second with earnings of almost $270,000 in his career. He started his career winning the Scream City Stakes and the Phoenix Rice Stakes back-to-back before finishing second behind Winter Blast in the Inglewood Juvenile Championship. He followed it up with wins in the Grade 3 Mustang Park Nursery and the Grade 1 Excited Stakes, which he won by 2 1/4 lengths before winning his final prep, the Road to Glory. Before finishing second in his final prep, the Road to Glory Stakes, finishing behind, happened overnight. Number 2 was One Look Back, another Xander Zone trainee, also a Steward bred, purchased for $2.3 million as a yearling. He was sired by a walk-off Grand Slam and is out of the fantastic DeLorean mare Look Sideways. This one's undefeated, and he started off his career with wins in the Oasis Bilksome Stakes, Energy, and Excess Stakes, and then the Walkover Stakes, which he won by 2 lengths with a career best 90 speed figure. After that, he won the Grade 2 Twin Spire Stakes over Cardinals, another horse in this race. After that, he won the One Proof Stakes by 2 3/4 lengths over Cuba with an 89 speed figure before replicating his career best performance in the Fleet Feet Stakes, winning by 2.5 lengths over Gangsters. Number 3 is the aforementioned Cardinals. A homebred for Brandon McNulty, the black colt is sired by Walk-Off Grand Slam. Geez, are all of these by Walk-Off Grand Slam, and is out of the Look Close mare Black Guy, making him a half-brother to Bull Black Nova, the fantastic sprinter from some years ago. 3 for 6 lifetime, never off the board. He started his career with 2 consecutive wins in the Cancelled Stakes and Big Block Stakes before finishing second to One Look Back in the Grade 2 Twin Spire Stakes. He then finished second behind Kinetic in the Garden State Juvenile before winning his first graded stakes race, the Nitro Stakes, week 12, and then he finished third in a 2-year-old sprint elimination race 2 weeks ago. Number 4 is Manipulation, owned by Keith Maidlow and bred by Mike Bryant. The Dark Bay Colt is another walk-off Grand Slam kid in here, and out of the DeLorean mare, Winter Tires. 3 for 6, but never off the board. He finished third in his debut stakes race before dropping in class and winning a maiden special rate race. He finished second twice in a row in the TriStar Stakes and the Grade 3 Arrogance Stakes, both of those behind Jet. He then won the Mountain Juvenile Stakes by a length and a half over Royal Symphony before winning the Rocket Can Stakes by a length and a quarter over Break On Through. Number 5 is Happened Overnight, owned by Brianna McKenzie and bred by the Steward, purchased for about $4 million as a yearling, He's sired by Overnight Storms and is out of the Tyconic mare Instantly in Love. An unbeaten 5 for 5, he started off his career with wins in the Serena Slew Stakes and the Trial by Summer Graduate Stakes with a 90, which was his career best performance so far. After that, he won the Florida Stakes and the Grade 2 Surf Cat Stakes before winning his final prep week 13, the Road to Glory Stakes over Make My Million. Number 6 is Plenty Precocious, another Mike Larson horse. This one's also bred by the Steward. Sold for $4.1 million as a yearling. He's sired by Black Hennessy and is out of the AP Sidewinder mare Plenty Wilder. 5 for 6 lifetime, but never worse than second. He won the Ohio Prince Stakes and the Lincoln Park Special before entering the Grade 3 Storm and Silence Stakes, which he won by a length and a quarter. After that, he followed it up with a win in the Search the Storm Stakes before falling to Cardinals in the Grade 3 Nitro Stakes. He bounced back week 14, though, and won his final prep, the Surprise Hero Stakes. And number 7 is Winter Blast, homebred for Mike Bryant. He's by Eurozin and out of the meteoric mare Snowstorming. 4 for 7 lifetime, off the board once. He started his career by winning the Classico Capsi Stakes and followed it up with a third place finish, in the M's Always Busy Stakes behind Jet, Fall Festival, and Winter Blast. He then won the Inglewood Juvenile Championship, finishing ahead of Make My Million, before winning the Grade 3 Rivera Stakes by a length. He followed it up with a win in the Camayas Juvenile Sprint, and then finished fourth in the Grade 1 Oceanside Futurity. He finished second in his final prep, the Louisiana Champions Dash, behind Royal Symphony, and that rounds out the field, and let's see if we can go back to the Steward for a contest.
It's contest time. Do-do-ba-do-ba-do, contest time. The contest prize is 10,000 game points. You can only guess once, and you can only win once a night. So that's a song that I just made up. Now, guys, here's the thing about these contests. I know that you guys say you like them, but you kind of let Jack Toward win all of them. And that seems like not really fair for all the other players. He's in here. He's ready. He's probably waiting for a 30,000 game point one, but yeah. Okay, does your microphone have a mute button? If it does, use it. If it doesn't, sad for me. Okay. Thoroughbred. Steward's Cups. Spoiler, the question is going to come from the Thoroughbred Steward's Cups. There's a Steward's Cup race that has never been won by a Stewardbred? What? New life goal? That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. So tonight, what is wrong with my computer? Oh my gosh, it is not okay with this. I basically broke it with the museum page, so that's not ideal. It's probably because we all tried to open it at once, including me. So tonight we will run the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th running of the Steward's Cup Bunbury. Those races are going to be 10 years old next year. That's fun. So the question is, and it's not very tricky, how many times has the winner of the Bunbury been bred by the Steward? Allie Headstone is the winner of 10,000 game points. Hey, you know what would be fantastic? Would be if someone who's sitting here for the whole night would take notes on this. Because usually I do it. And right now I have too many windows open and I'm breaking my computer. It's post time for the Juvenile Sprint. This race is always quite weird because you have the 2-year-old sprint championships, and thus this usually gets a very big field of bad animals. But this year we've got a small field of good animals that skipped that thing. So it's kind of interesting, in my opinion. 2 nice undefeated horses. Will it be one of the favorites, or will there be an upset? They're off in the Juvenile Sprint, and it was a good break for all 7 horses. Manipulation, Show Speed, and Make My Million, then Cardinals. Happened Overnight, One Look Back, Winter Blast, and Plenty Precocious is the early trailer. So it is Manipulation, and he leads by a length and a half over Make My Million, and Cardinals is there. Happened Overnight. 2 lengths back to One Look Back, who's got to get going, then Winter Blast and Plenty Precocious as they come to the top of the lane. It is Manipulation still leading by a length. Happened Overnight is the one making the first move, Make My Million, and here comes One Look Back finally. They're coming to the 8th pole, and Manipulation has spit the bit. It's Happened Overnight who takes over. Happened Overnight, Make My Million. Here's One Look Back. One Look Back is just rolling past them all. One Look Back effortlessly, very impressive performance on the rail. One Look Back will be the winner. Happened Overnight second, then Manipulation, and Make My Million. The official winner is One Look Back. I didn't know I bred this horse. I'm doing really well today, except for that I've never bred a Bunbarette winner yet. One Look Back is a 2-year-old black colt by Walk-Off Grand Slam out of Look Sideways by DeLorean. This horse is owned by Xander Zone, and he's 7 for 7. And I distinctly remember saying to Xander, what is wrong with you, and why isn't this horse in the 2-year-old sprint championships? And he said, because I'm going to win that with some other horse whose name I've already forgotten, and I'm going to win the Stewards Cup with this. Well, I don't agree with not letting this horse run for the big purse, but clearly he knew something I didn't, because this horse kind of erred today, jumping in late. Alright, that's enough rambling from me, I'm sure. Next up, we have the first of the 2-turn races, and that is the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. This is a mile on the grass. I know, crazy, right? And here is Nini.
All right. Number 1 in this field is Dreams Are Horses, a homebred for Rachel Sadler. She's by Warlock and out of the Frankel mare Wishes Were Horses. Undefeated, 4 for 4 and $250,000 to her name. She started off by winning a main special weight race and followed it up with a victory in the Elite Stakes, winning by 6 1/4 lengths, with an excellent 89 speed figure. After that, she won the Grade 1 London Debutante by 2 3/4 lengths, and then won the Grade 1 Paris Grand Criterium. Number 2 is Distant Secret, a homebred for Carl Smythe, sired by Distant Dream and out of the Rillian mare Secret Smooches. This filly is 3 for 4 lifetime and has earned just under $90,000. She won a main special weight race and followed it up with a non-winners of 2 before finishing second in the Grade 3 Perfect Shirl Stakes. After that, she rebounded to win the Stewards Cup Turf Trial Week 14 in Kentucky. Number 3 is San Diego Legend, owned by Pete Vela and bred by the Steward. This Rillian filly is out of the Legionnaire mare Heartless Legend. 3 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than third, earnings of just over $100,000. She won a main special weight race and then followed it up with the Conformist Stakes victory, before finishing second behind Silence Has Fallen in the Grade 2, the Garden Stakes. She had an easy final prep, winning a non-winners of 3 race by a length and a half with an 86 speed figure. Number 4 is Preach the Crowd. Preach the Crowd, owned by Jake Tord and bred by the Steward, sold for $1.6 million as a yearling, sired by Program Highlight and out of the King of the People mare, Bless the Crowd. 2 for 3 lifetime, but never worse than second, this filly has earned $61,000 in her career. She took her 2 tries to break her maiden, but she did so week 10 in a main special weight race, coming from off the pace to win by 3 with an 84 speed figure, and she followed it up with a win in the Perfect Shirl Stakes. However, she is coming off of a 4-week layoff, and she has to overcome that. Number 5 is Silence Has Fallen, owned by Ashley Gibson and bred by the Steward. A $4.5 million purchase as a yearling, she's by a line of Sonnet and out of the Florida Keys mare Silence is Bliss, an excellent runner in her own right. 4 for 3 lifetime, but never worse than second. She's earned just under $170,000 in her career. She broke her maiden second time out in a maiden special weight race, winning by 3 lengths over Kate's Needles and winning with an 84 speed figure. She then won the Garden Stakes with a career best 92 before winning the Grass is Greener Stakes in wire-to-wire fashion by 4 lengths. Number 6 is Time Ticks Away, owned by Alex Puderbaugh and bred by the Steward. She's started by Incremental and is out of the Frankel mare Mia Tuta Amo. 2 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second. This filly has earned just under $70,000. She finished second in an allowance race in her debut on a yielding track, I might add, before finishing second in a maiden special weight race 2 weeks after that. When she got onto firm ground for the first time, she broke her maiden by 4.5 lengths. She ran away in the 6 Perfection Stakes by 5.5 lengths with an 89 speed figure, a career best. Obviously, the major question is this one is, can she run on a soft track? Number 7 is Jupiter Moons. Jupiter Moons is a homebred for Glenn Larson. The black filly is sired by Mondialist and out of the Warlock mare Lock Your Doors. Only 1 for 4 lifetime with 2 second-place finishes. She's earned over $80,000 in her career. She started off her career by finishing 5th in a main special week 7 before rebounding in another main special 2 weeks later, winning by 2 lengths with an 85 speed figure. She finished second behind Graceful Amber in the Grade 2 Robin Tan Stakes, before going on and finishing second behind Final Point in a Game Point Sired Stakes in Week 14. This one is going to have to step up today to win, but it's the Stewards Cup and anything can happen. Number 8 is Decadence, a homebred for Louise Bayou. This bay filly is sired by Distant Dream and out of the Blessed Wolf mare Loyalty. 2 for 3 lifetime, but never worse than second. She's earned $99,000 so far. She broke her maiden on a yielding turf course in Brazil, winning by 4 lengths with an 87 speed figure. On firm ground in California, she finished second, a neck behind Distant Twilight, before moving up in the Grade 3 Good of the People Stakes, tracking the leader throughout, and then cruising on by to win by a length and a quarter with an 86 speed figure. And that just about rounds out the field for the Stewards Cup Juno Fillies Turf, and I'm going to throw it back to the Steward.
Thank you, Nini. I kind of like this. It's a nice field. You know, obviously not a huge field, but that's okay when you're going this mile distance. I know that Jake Tord is super high on his horse, Preach the Crowd. Pete Vela is happy with San Diego Legend, who is named after him. Dreams are Horses is just cool because she comes from that family that has like a million winners of this race in it. Not a million, but a lot. Silence Has Fallen, named after Doctor Who. And I always imagined that Decadence is named after chocolate. I don't actually know that to be true, but that's just what I tell myself. So for 10,000 game points, because it's contest time, contest time, contest time. For 10,000 game points. Hold on. I'm trying to find where my contest is going to come from. It's not going that well. Okay, here's a random contest for you. In the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies, one stallion, a very random stallion, has produced the most winners of this race. What is that stallion's name, and who are his winners? Ba-doo-ba-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I recommend you just keep the museum open, 'cause that's where the contests are coming from. So you should just do that. How is no one answering this yet? It's post time. Come on, guys. This is a very good field of fillies, and they need your attention. Good job. Jake is the winner. How random is it that Ghost Zapper has sired more winners of the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies than any stallion in the sim? Ghost Zapper. I love it. The betting pool closes at $17,100 for the Juvenile Fillies turf. They're off in the Juvenile Fillies turf, and Dreams Are Horses along the rail bobbled at the start, but the rest were away well. San Diego Legend shows speed, and no one wants to go with her early, so it's San Diego Legend taking the lead. Silence Has Fallen, then Decadence, Dreams Are Horses, and Distant Secret. Preach the Crowd back sixth, then Time Ticks Away, and Jupiter Moons is the early trailer as they go around that first turn towards the backstretch with 6 furlongs left to run. It is San Diego Legend, and she leads by 2. Silence Has Fallen has another 2 lengths on Decadence. It's like they're in a parade because Decadence has 2 lengths on Dreams Are Horses. Distant Secret's next, then Preach the Crowd. Time Ticks Away and Jupiter Moons. It's about 8 lengths front to back. They come to the half-mile pole, and San Diego Legend is tiring a little bit. Silence Has Fallen is closing the gap. Silence Has Fallen up alongside now. San Diego Legend and Decadence. Here comes Dreams Are Horses between them. Dreams Are Horses running well. Decadence showing good run on the outside, and then San Diego Legend. Here comes Preach the Crowd. They're at the 8th pole, and it is Silence Has Fallen. Dreams Are Horses is gaining with every stride. Silence Has Fallen and Dreams Are Horses. Those two are kicking away from Decadence. Silence Has Fallen and Dreams Are Horses. It's going to be very tight in the Juvenile Fillies turf. It's going to be a photo finish. Very close between Silence Has Fallen and Dreams Are Horses. Decadence back third, Preach the Crowd, and San Diego Legend. The judges are looking at the photo. Ladies and gentlemen, in one of the rarest events, we have a dead heat in the Stewards Cup. A dead heat between Dreams or Horses and Silence Has Fallen. They were 5 lengths clear of Decadence, and the photo finish camera could not separate them. Dreams or Horses is a 2-year-old Dark Bay filly by Warlock out of Wishes Were Horses by Frankel. She is a homebred for Rachel Sadler, and she's now unbeaten in 5 starts. Silence Has Fallen is a 2-year-old bay filly by Lion of Sinet out of Silence is Bliss by Florida Keys. She is owned by Ashley Gibson and was bred by the Steward. Now she is 4 for 5 lifetime. If you guys want to know why I suddenly completely lost my spot, it's because I got to the end of the chart, and because of the heater, all my lines went blank. And I was like, what's that all about? Where was I? So, I'm not normally that bad. Next up, we have the juvenile turf, 7 boys going a mile on the grass, and to talk about them, here is Nene.
All right. Next up is the juvenile turf, and we have 7 colts going a mile on the grass. Number 1 is a homebred for Danny Derby. His name is White Josh, and he's sired by Distant Dream out of the Destiny mare Doomed Hearts. An undefeated 3 for 3 lifetime with earnings of over $100,000, he kicked off his career by winning a main special weight race by 4.5 lengths before coming back to win the Worth My Weight Stakes. He then won the Grade 3 Having a Few People Over Stakes with an 89 speed figure by 2.5 lengths. Number 2 is Sounds Grand. Sounds Grand is owned by Glenn Larson and bred by the Steward. Sold for about $1.9 million as a yearling. He's sired by Strength out of the line of Sinet mare Shisa. 2 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than third. He has earnings of over $100,000. He broke his maiden second time out in a maiden special weight race on a good racetrack like the one we have today in a match race by 4.5 lengths. After that, he finished third in the Canadian Summer Stakes on firm ground, but once he got back in the mud, he won the Swordbearer Stakes wire to wire by 2.25 lengths with an 88. Obviously, we can deduce that this guy is going to like this racetrack. Next up is Little Constance. Little Constance is owned by the awesome Laura Ferguson and bred by the Steward. Purchased for $1.75 million as a yearling, he is sired by Worldwide Fame and out of the Keys to the City mare Constantly. 4 for 4 and with earnings of over $160,000, he kicked off his career by winning a main special weight race on a yielding racetrack and winning by 3 lengths. After that, he won the Red, White, and Blue Stakes by 2 lengths over Kid, who's also in this race, and then won the Grade 3 Redwood Tree Juvenile, winning by 2 lengths over Kid once more. He then won the Grade 3 Generous Stakes with an 89 speed figure by 3 lengths over Krampus 4, and all of his wins have been in wire-to-wire fashion. Number 4 is Get On Your War Face. He's owned by Mike Larson and bred by Danny Derby. He is sired by Distant Dream and is out of the Warlock mare What's Her Face. 3 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second. He's earned just over $45,000 in his career. He broke his main second time out before taking it easy and stepping into non-winners at 2 lifetime for his second career race, which he won by 6 lengths with an 86 speed figure. Week 14, he won his final prep, the Manic Monday Mile. He won that by 1 3/4. Number 5 is Room in Your Heart. Room in Your Heart is owned by Rocky Eliza and bred by the Steward. The Chestnut Colt has earned $74,000 in his career and was purchased for $2.25 million as a yearling. Sired by Harden Your Heart and Out of the Sun and the Giants mare Spectacular Sound, he is 2 for 3 lifetime. He started his career by winning a main special weight race by 1.5 lengths with an 86, following it up with a second place finish in the Worth My Weight Stakes before rebounding in the Benjamin Franklin Stakes, a Grade 3 event, which he won by 1 3/4 lengths. It's also worth noting he lost that second race to White Josh, who's also in this race. Number 6 is It Takes Work. He is owned by Sten Reno Hawkinson and is bred by the Steward. He was sold for $2 million as a yearling and is sired by Old Dan, Sten's favorite horse, and is out of the Eohippus mare This Woman's Work. 3 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second. He's earned $242,000 in his career. He finished second in an allowance race for his debut race, second on yielding turf, before rebounding with a maiden special weight score also on yielding turf, so I guess we can forget about the notion that he doesn't like a wet track, and he won that race by 8 lengths. He then came back to win the Grade 1 London Futurity and the Grade 1 Prix June de Picard, a Grade 1 stakes by 3 lengths. Number 7 is the other Danny Derby horse, Kid. Kid is sired, unless it's Sid, is sired by Knock 4 Times and is out of the Holdfast mare Prancer. 2 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second. This earner of $101,000 broke his maiden week 7 in a maiden special weight by 2 lengths. He then finished second to Little Constance for 2 races in a row in the Red, White, and Blue Stakes and the Redwood Tree Juvenile Stakes, a Grade 3, before bouncing back and winning the Stewards Cup Turf Trial. And that's the field for the Juvenile Turf, and Danny is screaming at me in the main chat, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. And also, you guys are stuck with me for like a minute or 2 minutes because the steward has gone to make popcorn for her kids. So this is a pretty good race. There's two undefeated horses in here. The favorite is going to be one of those two. So we shall see. White Josh likes to run on the lead. He's led at every pole in every race he's ever ran, as does the Laura Ferguson trainee, Little Constance. So they're going to be vying for the lead as they come out of the gate. Sing. JR wants me to sing. What do you want me to sing? Tell us a story. Sing. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Okay. Once upon a time, there was this plant, and the plant was a magic plant, and there was this guy, and he was like a super nerd, and he really liked this girl, and then the plant came to life and was like, I can help you get the girl. And the nerd was like, how am I gonna get the girl? And he was like, bring her to me, or bring me her boyfriend. And her boyfriend was this crazy dentist. So the nerd brings the dentist over, and then the plant like swells up into this giant monster and just eats the dentist and swallows him whole. And that's kind of a scary story to be telling, or not really. I'm literally just summarizing the plot of Little Shop of Horrors. Laura Smith says this is the best story. It is the best story. I love plants. I really want a Venus flytrap. I think that would be really cool. I go back to school at the end of next week, and I'm not allowed to have a pet, and I really want to take my dog, but I can't take my dog. So maybe I should just get a Venus flytrap. Has anyone in here ever owned a Venus flytrap? Rachel says amazing. Thank you for my very average storytelling skills. I don't want to be a Venus flytrap, Nina. An iconic quote. Get a Venus flytrap named dog. Nope, they are picky. It died. And Em is back. Here she is.
Sorry about that, guys. I was running out the door trying to feed my kids popcorn so that they would leave me alone. I mean, because I love them, and on Friday, nope, it's Thursday. No excuse. So we're just gonna, close betting and go ahead with this one. This is the Juvenile Turf. Are we on the Juvenile Turf? Okay, I thought we were on dirt races. I need popcorn myself. Betting pool closes at $43,100. Field of 7, going a mile on the turf. They're off. Sounds Grand bobbled at the break. Little Constance is the one going to show speed, but joined by It Takes Work and White Josh. Then Room in Your Heart and Sid. Get Your War Face. Sounds Good is going to be the early trailer. That's a disaster for me. Little Constance going to lead them up the backstretch, leading by half length and dogged by It Takes Work. White Josh is there, 3 lengths to Room in Your Heart, and then Sid. Get On Your War Face and Sounds Grand still trails 4 lengths behind the second to last runner and about a dozen lengths from the leader. That leader around the turn is Little Constance, leading by a length. It Takes Work is second, trying to gain ground. Room in Your Heart coming on, then White Josh. Sid is 5 lengths off of that one. Get Your War Face is second last, and Sounds Grand has to get going. They're at the top of the lane, and Little Constance still leads by a length. Room in Your Heart is up in the second, trying to get that one. It Takes Work, very game right there and battling back. Then White Josh, Little Constance, Room in Your Heart can't get closer. It Takes Work trying, but it's going to be Little Constance to win the Juvenile Turf. Little Constance wins by a length. Room in Your Heart and It Takes Work close between them for second and third. Then White Josh and Sounds Grand. The official winner is Little Constance. He's a 2-year-old chestnut colt by worldwide fame out of Constantly by Keys to the City. He was bred by the Steward, who's doing kind of well tonight, guys, and is owned by Laura Ferguson. This chestnut colt, who cost $1.7 million as a yearling, is now 545. Next up, we finally get back on the dirt. This is where I thought we were. This is the Stewards Cup Debutante. Apparently, no Steward bred has ever won this race. What? So, 6 horses. Nini's got 7 minutes to talk about them, which surely means that we will have a contest unless I get up and wander away again.
All right, 6 horses, 4 of them are Steward bred, so there's a pretty good chance for the Steward to breed a victor in here. Number 1 is Faith in a Snowstorm, and she's owned by Regina Moore. Bred by the Steward, her sire is Faithful out of the engrossed mare Curious. Bought for about $2.7 million as a yearling. She's 3 for 3 lifetime and has earned $225,000. She started her career by winning the Grade 3 Venezuelan Debutante and followed it up with a victory in another Grade 3, the Exogenous Stakes. She then stepped up into Grade 1 competition in the Long Island Matron Stakes, winning by 2 1/4 lengths over Safe from Fire with an 88 speed figure and a career best performance. Number 2 is She Loves a Ghost. She Loves a Ghost is owned by Art Vandelay and bred by the Steward. Sold earlier this year at the 2-year-olds in training sale for $4.2 million. She's by Shaman Ghost and out of the Just Victory mare Best Dreams. 3 for 3 with earnings of $132,000. She broke her maiden week 8 in a maiden special weight by 2 lengths before jumping up into graded competition in the One for the Ages Stakes, where she won wire to wire and drew off to win by 2 lengths. After that, she won the Kentucky Crown Juvenile Filly Stakes with an 87 speed figure by a length and 3/4. Number 3 is Fleury. She's owned by Pehi's son. Sorry if I totally blundered that name. She is by Light of the Moon and out of the Big Bucks mare, Better Famous. 3 for 3 lifetime with earnings of $95,000. She broke her maiden in a maiden special week 7 before following it up with a victory in the High Flyer Stakes. After that, she won the Beat of My Heart Stakes by a length and 3/4 over Of Most Monsters. Number 4 is Safe from Fire. This filly is owned by Laura Ferguson. Can she win back-to-back Stewards Cup races? We'll see. She was sold for $1.7 million as a yearling and is by Spread Like Fire out of the Touchdown Raiders mare Carry Me Home. 3 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second. She has earnings of $166,000. She broke her maiden in an allowance race before following it up with a victory in the Tiara Stakes. Both of those were won with a 90 speed figure. After that, she won the Henderson Debutante by 2 lengths over Golden Moonlight with an 86 before she ran into Faith in a Snowstorm in the Long Island Matron Stakes. Next up is Saint Amour, also owned and bred by Pehi's son, sired by Cyberman and out of the Shadowless mare Salvation. This white filly is 3 for 4 lifetime, but never worse than second, with earnings of almost $160,000. She broke her maiden, week 7, coming from way off the pace to win by 2 lengths. She followed it up with a win in the Super Sport Stakes by a length and 3/4 over All Things Glitter. She finished second behind the next entry in this race, Street Lights, in the Grade 2 Chicago Lassie Stakes before rebounding in the Grade 1 Golden Leaf Stakes, winning by 2.5 lengths with a career best 88 speed figure. Last but not least is Andrew James's Street Lights. Bred by the Steward and out of the California Chrome mare Street Smarts, she is 3 for 4 and has never finished worse than third. She's earned just over $170,000 in her career. It took her 2 tries to break her maiden, and she did it second time out, week 10, winning by 1 3/4 lengths over the Red Queens. She jumped up into graded competition and beat Saint Amour by a length and a half, earning an 88 speed figure in the Chicago Lassie. After that, she won the Grade 2 North State Debutante, leading wire to wire before drawing off to win by 2 3/4 lengths. That's the field for the Debutante, and here is the Steward, hopefully with a contest. Do we? Oh, I have no idea. I suppose. Let me, Google it.
Alright, I'm back. Nini's Googling stuff for me. That's what a true MC does. Does the work of the Steward and the MC at the same time. 3 minutes to post, so that means it's time for another 10,000 game point question. Jake T won the last one. So, here is the question for this race. So again, this is the 9th running of the Debutante. There is only one trainer who has won this race twice. Name the trainer and both of the winners. Name the... Yeah, but... So how do you... Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that. Lance, you are the winner! Way to go, Lance! I think that's like your first ever contest win. Congrats, Lance. Champion. And now we still have time for another contest. The reason I asked that question, the answer was Chris Bobby and Oakland and Vespa, is because Chris Bobby, as per usual, is the sponsor of all of our prizes on Steward's Cup nights. So all these 10,000 game points that I'm giving away, all from her, because she is kind of the bomb. I really like this race. It's been won by some really nice fillies. The original winner, Rouselaire, she ended up in my broodmare barn. I think I just eventually got rid of her, sadly. But some cool people have won this. Honey Russo, Scott Island, John Exet, Louise Bayou, and Andrew James, who has a horse in here. Oh, who's bred by me. So my question for you guys, for the last 10,000 game points for this race, is type the name of the winning horse that ran a 100 speed figure in this race a few years ago. 100. Name of the horse, not the person. Horsey. Dude, Beholder would be the best answer ever. Cleo is the winner. Meshach for Scott Island. I just wrote in my note database that Meshach won 10,000 game points. How's that going to go for me later? I fixed it, don't worry. Betting pool closes at $32,700. An extremely nice field of well-matched fillies. Everyone has won 3 races. That's pretty awesome. Randall, don't worry. We just keep doing all these contests over and over to eventually knock everyone out. Because, you know, you can only win once per night. Where'd the race go? I lost it. They're off in the debutante, and Streetlights stumbled quite badly at the start. Streetlights is well back. She Loves a Ghost is rushed up out of the gate, and no one wants to go with her early, so the leader is going to be She Loves a Ghost into that first turn. Faith in a Snowstorm, and then Fleury. Safe from Fire, Streetlights, and Saint Amour is at the back of the pack. The field of 6 is pretty compact, save for She Loves a Ghost, who leads by 3 lengths around the clubhouse turn. She Loves a Ghost is going very fast up front. Faith in a Snowstorm and Fleury is second and third. Safe from Fire is fourth, then Streetlights, and Saint Amour is still at the back of the pack as they run down the backstretch. It is She Loves a Ghost. Her lead's down to 2 lengths now as Faith in a Snowstorm is coming on. Fleury is third and Safe from Fire fourth. Then Saint Amour, who passes Streetlights. Streetlights is struggling today. They have 3 furlongs left to run. Faith in the Snowstorm is their new leader because She Loves a Ghost has spit the bit badly. She Loves a Ghost going backwards through the pack. Faith in a Snowstorm into the stretch. Fleury is second, and here comes Saint Amour from the back of the pack. And in the middle of the lane, it's Saint Amour running down. Faith in a Snowstorm. Fleury is battling back, then Safe from Fire. But Saint Amour for Payson is going to win by at least a length, maybe more. A very effortless win by Saint Amour in the debutante. Faith in a Snowstorm was second, and Fleury was third. You'll hear me say it in a second. The official winner is Saint Amour. This is a 2-year-old white filly by Cyberman out of Salvation, who won one of these races, if not more, by Shadowless. She is 4 for 5 lifetime, and this is a homebred for Payson. Payson. And this is her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Salvation never did one of these. This is her 7th Stewards Cup win. Salvation must have run second like 10 times then. And of all 7, only one of them wasn't a dirt miler. She's got a thing. Next up is the boys version, and this is the Futurity, a field of 7. I know Randall Johnson's excited. See, don't worry, guys. It's not that I can't talk during race calls. It's just that I can't talk. About oil turned gold. So to hear about the rest of them, because that's not the only horse in the race, it's Nene.
Rip, my microphone was off. Okay. All right. Number 1 is Player on Stage, owned by Regina Moore and bred by the Steward. This bay colt was purchased for $3.25 million as a yearling. He's sired by Justin Act and is out of the YIM mare, Stuff of Dreams. He's 3 for 3 lifetime with earnings of about $125,000. He kicked off his career on a muddy racetrack in Venezuela, winning a maiden special weight by 2 1/4 lengths with an 88 speed figure. He tackled the sloppy racetrack next time out in the Grade 3 People's Champion Stakes in Florida, winning by 1 1/4 lengths, leading wire to wire throughout. After that, he won the Golden State Juvenile by 2 1/4 lengths. Number 2 is Dalek Invasion, owned by Pete Vela and bred by the Steward. This guy was sold for $300,000 as a 2-year-old. Sired by Cyberman and out of the Keyboard Courage Mare Final, he's undefeated 4 for 4 lifetime with earnings of $182,500. He kicked off his career by winning a maiden special weight race by 1 3/4 lengths. He then won the Epic Stakes by a length over Bigger Fortune and followed it up with a win in the Don't Hesitate Stakes, leading wire to wire to win by a length. After that, he won the Grade 2 North State Futurity by a length. Will he exterminate the field today? We will see. Number 3 is Tigers Come at Night, owned by Kelly Watcher and also bred by Kelly Watcher. This son of Light of the Moon is out of a Father Ralph mare, Tigerin. 3 for 3 lifetime and with earnings of $101,000. He kicked off his career by winning a maiden special by 1 3/4 lengths. He followed it up with an easy allowance victory before jumping up into Grade 1 competition in the Lexington Futurity, where he won by 1 3/4 lengths over Whom. Number 4 is the aforementioned Oil Turned Gold, owned by Randall Johnson and bred by the Steward. This colt was sold for just over $750,000 as a 2-year-old. Sired by Dubai Awesomeness and out of the Little Gift mare, Little Gold Dust, he's 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $107,000. He finished 3rd in his debut, the Frisco Kid Stakes, behind 7 Train Army and Derek Darkness, but he bounced back in a big way to win the Grade 1 Long Island Futurity Week 13 by a neck. Number 5 is Why the Cheers, owned by Laura Ferguson and bred by Art Vandelay. This filly is by YIM and out of the Touchdown Raiders mare, Colts Cheerleader. 1 for 4 lifetime with 3 on the board finishes. Other than that, she's earned $91,000. She kicked off her career winning a maiden special, Week 7, and followed it up with a 3rd place finish in the Epic Stakes behind Dalek Invasion and Bigger Fortune. In the Chicago Futurity, a Grade 2, he finished 2nd behind Half Crescent Moon. However, he rebounded in the North State Futurity Stakes just a little bit to get 2nd behind Dalek Invasion, but he has lost 3 races in a row. Number 6 is Mid-Dock, owned by Pei Sun. Sired by Warpath and out of the Faster Than Flame mare, Take It Back. 3 for 4 lifetime with 1 2nd place finish and earnings of $122,000. He broke his maiden Week 7 down in Brazil by 1 1/2 lengths with an 86 speed figure. He finished 2nd in the Grade 3 Venezuelan Futurity behind Half Crescent Moon, before bouncing back in the Portree Flash Classic Stakes, winning by a length over Gambling Doug. He then won the Kentucky Crown Juvenile by a length after leading throughout with an 86 speed figure. And finally, number 7 is Half Crescent Moon. Owned by Ali Hedgestone and bred by the Steward, this colt was sold for $2 million as a yearling. By Minions and out of the Chief Mare August Moon, he's undefeated with earnings of $152,000 that he gathered in his 3-race career. He won his first out, a maiden special weight race by 3 1/4 lengths over On a Road Home. Then he won the Grade 3 Venezuelan Futurity by a length over Medoc before going on to finish 1st in the Grade 2 Chicago Futurity in his final prep, which he won by a length and a quarter. That's the field for the Futurity. Here's the Steward. Actually, just kidding. Okay. Story time or singing time? Does anyone have any requests? Another story? How about I just summarize another musical for you guys? Okay. Once upon a time, there was this dude Born in the Caribbean. I want to sing the words, but I really shouldn't because they're curse words and I can't curse on the air like this. And like he was poor, and then he wrote a letter, and then he wasn't poor anymore because everyone gave him money. And then he sailed to the mainland and got famous. Louise says, talk about how awesome I am. Louise is really awesome. She helped me a lot when I was a newbie, so like she's super cool. Cleopatra says she's doing a contest right now. Okay. And now the steward is back, so here she is.
Guys, it was a tragedy. The Lorax ended, and thus I needed to go put on planes. And the kids are telling me, they're like, I was like, guys, we won't be able to finish this one before bedtime. And they're like, but mommy, it's short, which is true. But seriously, I don't want you to stay up till 9 because vote no to that. It's not even post time yet. It's still 1 minute to post, so I'm not even in trouble yet. Take that, people. So this is the Futurity, a race in which 4 of the runners are bred by me. Sorry, I'm looking up some history. I was looking at the horse Y the Cheers in here, and this was not an Art Vandalay lease horse. This is an Art Vandalay told it to get out of his barn, and the horse is in the Steward's Cup, so that'd be kind of funny a little bit. Not for him, but for like all of us. You guys want to hear a really mushy, nice story? This horse on the rail, player on stage. I think it was Kent Saunders, but it might have been Kenneth Prater. One of the Kents. Really nice guy. All the Kents are pretty nice. Wow, I feel bad that I don't know who it really was, but really wanted to do something nice for Regina Moore for all of her article writing and all the help that she's given the new players, and so they surprised her with this headshot. But what's funny is that Regina had ordered a headshot for Faith in a Snowstorm, who ran in the last race, and when she got the surprise headshot, she was like, oh, you guys did the wrong horse. And it was like, no, that was a surprise that we meant to do. Silly. So, that's my story. I don't know. It sounded better in my head. The betting pool closes at $19,000 even. A field of 7 going 1 mile on the dirt. They're off, and it was a perfect start for all 7 runners. Player on stage from the rail is going to gun out to the lead, then Tigers Come at Night and Madoc. Oil Turned Gold, Dalek Invasion, then Half Crescent Moon, and Why the Cheers is the early trailer. So it is player on stage, now joined by Tigers Come at Night. That one puts his head in front. I was just checking if these were colts. Madoc back third, only a length behind the leaders, and then Oil Turned Gold. Dalek Invasion has 5 lengths on Half Crescent Moon, with Why the Cheers a good 10 lengths off the leaders. So it is Tiger Comes at Night who leads by a length with half a mile left to go. Player on stage is second, then Oil Turned Gold. Madoc is losing a spot with Dalek Invasion coming on, then Half Crescent Moon. Why the Cheers is going to have to do much better than this as they come to the top of the stretch, and Tiger Comes at Night still leads by a length, but the challenge now comes from Oil Turned Gold, who's coming on. Dalek Invasion there too. Player on stage is done. Tiger Comes at Night is trying hard to hold on. Oil Turned Gold is trying hard to get him. Dalek Invasion there too. Tigers Come at Night, Oil Turned Gold, and it's going to be Tigers Come at Night who holds on by a half. Oil Turned Gold had to settle for second, Dalek Invasion third, then Player on Stage, and Half Crescent Moon. The official winner is Tigers Come at Night. This is a 2-year-old dark bay colt by Light of the Moon out of Tickerin by Father Ralph. This is a homebred for Kelly Wachter, who is now 4 for 4 lifetime. The horse, not Kelly Wachter. Kelly has been playing The Sim since, I almost said since your birthday, your birth year. That was not the same. Since year 23, and this is her first Stewards Cup win, which really confused me because I thought Tigran won like 5 of these. Why do I think that? Stewards Cup Fillet Mare Dirt Mile, 12th. That's not the same. Yeah, no, I don't know why I thought that. Stewards Cup Debutante, 8th. Okay, I made that up. Anyway, congrats to Kelly, because I do seem to recall that I said happy birthday to you a few days ago, so apparently if you have your birthday around the Stewards Cup, it's good for you, since Ashley's is this weekend and she won a race, and Kelly's is a couple days ago and she won a race. And I had my birthday last week and I've won like 10 of these things. Next up is the Bun Barrette. Apparently this is the race that I have not yet bred a winner for. So, I wanted to make a joke that I went in and changed it so that I bred a winner, but you guys are going to take me seriously. I'm definitely not serious about that. I know that Brian Levitt's horse in here, Grand Cross, was featured as our rising star. And I happened to note that that horse came right back in this race. And since there's 10 horses in here and only 6 minutes to post, I'm pretty sure Nini's like, shut up! So here she is.
All right. Next up is the Bun Barrette, like mentioned, and let's get to it. Number 1 is Little Imagination. Little Imagination is owned by Joseph DiPaolo and is bred by the Steward. Started by a two-toned and out of the Jack Frost mare Erotica, this makes her a half-sister to Kisses for M, who runs tomorrow. 1 for 2 lifetime, but not worse than third. She's earned $13,500 to her name. She won her maiden special weight race week 10 by 2 lengths with an 84 speed figure before finishing third in the Wish to be Real Stakes week 13 behind Tell Me a Secret and Benatar. She got a 91 speed figure in that effort. Number 2 is With Flair, a homebred for Carl Smythe. The black filly is by Itoko and out of the fantastic mare by Sydney With Care. 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $70,000. She started her career by winning a main special weight race by a length and a half before winning the Olive Branch Stakes by a length, earning an 89 in that race. Number 3 is Outlast, owned by Rocky Raya Liza, a homebred for her. This filly, named after the horror survival game, is sired by Itoko out of the Gojira mare Beloved. 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of just over $12,000. She won her first race in main special weight, week 10, before running 4th in the Wish to be Real Stakes, but she earned a 90 in that race, so Rocky deemed it that she should go into the Stewards Cup. Number 4 is Hannah. Hannah is owned by Kane Saracen and bred by the Steward, sired by two tones and out of the Buttermint mare Big Unage, and I totally butchered that, sorry. 1 for 3 lifetime, but with 1 second and 1 third place, she's earned $31,500. She won a main special weight race with an 88, winning by 2 1/4 lengths, before going into the Dark Flight Stakes, where she finished second to How to Love Again. She tried to rebound in the Faith in Me Stakes, but she finished third behind What We Won't Say and How to Love Again, and earning an 83 speed figure in that effort. Number 5 is Diamonds Are Forever, another Kyle Smythe homebred. This filly is sired by Kaiju and out of the Sydney mare Marilyn Monroe. 1 for 2 lifetime, but her other start was the second. She's earned $39,000. She won her maiden special weight race week 11 before finishing second in the Moeda Love Stakes behind Cinnamon Sugar. Number 6 is Grand Cross. Grand Cross is a homebred for Brian Levitt. She's sired by Stalingrad and out of the tattered mare Clavarella. 1 for 2 lifetime, but her other race was the second place. She's earned $22,500. She finished second in her debut, a stakes race called the Born Wild Stakes behind Cinnamon Sugar, but she came back in week 14 to win a maiden special weight race by a length and a half, earning an 88 speed figure, and she jumps up way up in class today for the Stewards Cup. Number 7 is How to Love Again, owned by Lucas Davenport and bred by the Steward. This bay filly was sold for $2.3 million as a yearling. She's sired by Napoli Diatlane and is out of the Stalingrad mare One True Love. 2 for 3 lifetime, this filly won her main special weight and followed it up with a victory in the Dark Flight Stakes, earning a career best 89 speed figure. She then finished second to What We Won't Say in the Faith in Me Stakes week 14. Number 8 is Tell Me a Secret for Scott Island. This undefeated filly is by two-toned and out of the Stalingrad mare Mando. She won her main special weight race with a 93 speed figure before jumping into the Wish It to be Real Stakes and winning with a 96 speed figure. By virtue of those two races, I would assume that she is the favorite. Number 9 is Always Revelation. She's owned by Phil Hoflich and bred by the Steward. She was sold for just over $800,000 as a 2-year-old, and she made her debut week 10 in a main special weight, which she won by a neck over By a Moment, earning an 85. Her second race was week 12, a non-winners 2 lifetime, which she won by a length and a half, earning an 88 speed figure. She's coming off of a 4-week break, and she's never won in a stakes race, so I would imagine she's kind of a long shot. But once again, this is the Stewards Cup, and stranger things have happened. Number 10, rounding out the field, is Marry Me Juliet. She's owned by Eric Nalbone and bred by the Steward. Sold to the 2-year-old in training sale earlier this year for $2.4 million, she's by Ominous Tones and out of the Elysian Park mare Juliet. Marry Me Juliet is coming off of only one race, and that's a main special weight victory, week 12, where she led throughout to win by a length and a quarter with an 87 speed figure. Park mare Juliet. And Marry Me, that's the field for the Stewards Cup Bun Barrette. Here is the Steward.
So the question is, should I also sing Marry Me Juliet? Do you guys know what that's from? It's from Taylor Swift. If I can pull off Arabian Nights, I can hardcore pull off some Taylor Swift, so you guys better watch out. That's right, Nene gets me. So yeah, 1 minute to post for the Bun Barrette. These are the races that, whoa, what did I just do to it? I think I reloaded it. I hope I didn't break anything. These are the races that Danny Derby kind of made happen by having his Louisville Bunbury and Bun Barrette for 3-year-olds. The Routers used to run in the 1 mile race. They only won 50% of the time because the rest of the time the milers would win. See how that goes. This is quite the field. Just the dams alone in this field are crazy good. So apparently I've never bred the winner of this race. You can be sure that I'm on a mission now. And it is post time. Betting pool closes at $19,200. They're going 1 1/8 miles on the grass for $1 million. They're off in the Bun Barrette, and Hannah was 1 step slow, but the rest were away well. With Flair and Marry Me Juliet, then Always Revelation. Tell Me a Secret is under a good hold early in Grand Cross. Then comes out last alongside Diamonds Are Forever, Little Imagination in between them, then How to Love Again. And Hannah, after the bad break, is the early trailer. So now we have a new leader. It's Marry Me Juliet, a neck in front of With Flair. Those two go on, and they have 3 lengths on Always Revelation. Grand Cross is up into 4th. Passing Tell Me a Secret for a spot, then Outlast, Little Imagination, Diamonds Are Forever, How to Love Again, and Hannah. Rolling down the backside now, and Marry Me Juliet and With Flair, these two are battling it out early, 3 lengths in front of Always Revelation. Grand Cross and Tell Me a Secret, those two are noses apart. They have 2 lengths on the rest of the horses, with Outlast, Little Imagination, and Diamonds Are Forever grouped closely. How to Love Again is 5 lengths off them, and Hannah would have to come from a dozen out of it. They've got half a mile left to go, and With Flair has put away Marry Me Juliet, and With Flair leads by 1. Grand Cross with an early move is up into 2nd. Here comes Tell Me a Secret. Diamonds Are Forever as Marry Me Juliet goes back through the pack. It's coming to the top of the stretch, and Tell Me a Secret from nowhere is the new leader. Tell Me a Secret is trying to kick away from them, but Grand Cross is battling back. We're going to have another battle today. It's Grand Cross. Tell Me a Secret puts her head back in front. With Flair back 3rd. Marry Me Juliet is game today, then How to Love Again. Grand Cross, but Tell Me a Secret has her measure, and Tell Me a Secret is under the line by a neck. Tell Me a Secret wins. Grand Cross 2nd, With Flair 3rd, Marry Me Juliet, and How to Love Again. The official winner is Tell Me a Secret. She's a 2-year-old gray filly by Two-Toned out of Manda by Stalingrad. This is a homebred for Scott Island, and she is now unbeaten in 3 starts. This horse is really good. Like, really good. Like, Scott earned $1.5 million with her dam. And then I wanted a foal from it. But then when he bred this horse, I was like, but I just want this horse now because I won't do as good a job. So then Scott gave her the next year to Cleopatra. He was like, we'll forget you then. That's how that all went down. So thanks, everybody. Next up, we have the Bunbury, and this is a field of 7. This is a nice field. These are some nice horses. With the funniest horse, of course, being Heartbroken. I sent Stormy Peak a message when her dog Haha had to be put down, and I said, I'm heartbroken for you, because I clearly couldn't spell heartbroken. And he's a maiden, but he's in here today, and that's pretty funny. Not the... Okay, that came out way wrong. I'm just going to turn it over to Nini.
All right, here we go for the Bunbury. Number 1 is One's Left Behind for Billy Anderson, and he is bred by the Steward. He was sold for $1 million earlier this year as a 2-year-old, and he's sired by Guilty Remnant out of the Clockwork Mare Minutes. 2 for 3 lifetime, but never worse than 3rd. This colt earned $90,000 so far. He finished first in the first round men, week 10 in Japan, before finishing first again in the Rillian Stakes at grade 3, winning that race by 2.5 lengths. He then finished 3rd in the Deadly Stakes behind Troubadour and Blacklisted. Number 2 is Fire Breathing for Carl Smythe. This colt was bred by the Steward and sold for $2.75 million as a yearling. As a 2-year-old, pardon, not a yearling. He is started by Kaiju out of the Fact Not Fiction mare Maria Gorska. 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $33,000. He won his maiden before finishing 2nd in the Magical Trevor Stakes at grade 3. Number 3 is Boeing. Boeing is owned by Cesar Reyes and outbred by Dan Kaufman. He is sired by Return to Acapulco and out of the Some Kind of Madness mare, Vilay. 2 for 3 lifetime, he has earned $72,500 so far. He broke his maiden first out in a main special weight, winning by 2 1/4 lengths before finishing 2nd behind Summerland, who's also in this race in the Throwing Punches Stakes. He rebounded in the Intermediate Championship week 14 and won that by 2.5 lengths with a career best 88 speed figure. Number 4 is the aforementioned Heartbroken. Owned and bred by Stormy Peak, this colt was sired by Forgotten out of the two-toned mare For Shock. He is a maiden so far, but he's earned $13,000. He finished 2nd in a maiden special weight week 10 before going into the Throwing Punches Stakes week 12. He finished 2nd to Summerland in the first one, and then 3rd behind Summerland and Boeing in the Throwing Punches Stakes. He tried to rebound in a main special weight race week 14, but he was unable to do so and finished 2nd behind Dismantled Platoon. Number 5 is Summerland. This colt is owned by Nina Olsen and bred by the Steward. Sold for about $4.6 million as a yearling, he's by Stalingrad and out of the tattered mare Dansu. 2 for 2 right now with earnings of $45,000. He broke his maiden in impressive fashion week 10 by 2.5 lengths with a 93 speed figure after leading throughout. In the Throwing Punches Stakes, the result was much the same and he won by a length with an 87 speed figure. Number 6 is Wild Tiger Soul. He's being trained by Kent Saunders and is bred by the Steward. Sold for a hair under $6 million as a yearling, he is sired by the Mighty Sydney and out of the two-toned mare, Two-Toned Tiger, who was a Stewards Cup winner in her own right. 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $57,500 so far. He broke his maiden in a main special weight week 10 before jumping up into the Rookie Stakes and winning that by 1 3/4 lengths. Number 7 and breaking from the outside post is Night's Quiet. He is owned by Willie Carson and is bred by the Steward. Sold for $3 million as a yearling, he's by Itoko and out of the Wonder Mare Shahira. 2 for 2 lifetime, he has earned $43,500 in his career so far. He broke his maiden week 10 in California with a 90 speed figure when he won by 2 3/4 lengths before coming back in the Grade 3 Waterloo Stakes, winning by a length of 3/4 and earning 86 speed figure. And that's the field for the Bunbury. Here is the Steward.
Thank you, Nini. You're doing an excellent job, and we only have 2 races left to go after this. Woot woot. Oh, maybe I'm too excited about that, but I'm really excited to get to tomorrow's races because even though I love this program, when this program's over, then I'm sad, but then I realize we can do it all again tomorrow, so that's exciting. So obviously, I'm partial to several horses in here since I bred all of them but 2. Never forget the tragic story of Boeing, who Dan Kaufman bred, and I was so excited. I was like, oh man, Dan does so much for the game, and look at him, he's got a super horse, and then he sold it to Cesar Reyes. Whoops. He didn't mean to, but he kind of did. You know what I mean? Billy Anderson has high hopes today with ones left behind. Would really like to get a winner. Two minutes to post still. Obviously, I'm personally partial to Night's Quiet, the son of Shahira. That's my all-time favorite mare that I've ever had. She is still alive and kicking. I bred what I thought was going to be her final foal this year. She is 15 years old, and I did not save her. And she went to Coleman Hill. She had a filly, and she's fine, which means that she gets to have another one next year. She's been to basically all the good stallions. She's seen Sydney several times. She was married to him for a little while. Coleman, Andre, Richard Parker, Atoko, Two-Tone, Gibraltar. Like, she's been to the good horses. She even got a $2 million earner from If You Think. She's going back to Sydney next year because I can and you're not in charge of me. So take that. It's exciting for me that she gets to have one last Sydney. I'm sure it will cost all the money because I will be selling it. If you don't want to pay all the money for the last Shahira baby, unless she lives again, then just breed to her son Reddington, who stands for $60,000 and is kind of the bomb. Alright, it is post time for the Bunbury. Betting pool closes at $30,800. A field of 7 going 1 1/8 miles for $1 million. They're off, and it was a very ugly start for Fire Breathing, who went down to his knees hard. Boeing bobbled the break, and so too did Wild Tiger Soul. Summerlin had no trouble though, and Summerland goes right out to lead. Boeing is rushed up, and there's Heart Borkin, Fire Breathing, Night's Quiet, Wild Tiger Soul, and one's left behind is the early trailer as they go around that clubhouse turn, and it is Summerland leading by a length. Boeing putting the pressure on second, Heart Borkin there too, and Fire Breathing. Night's Quiet's only 1.5 lengths from the front, then Wild Tiger Soul. One's left behind is currently 3 lengths behind that one. Boeing's really eager to put the pressure on now as they go down the backside. Boeing has got his head in front of Summerland, but now Summerland battles back, and those two are 2 lengths in front of Heart Borkin. Fire Breathing is 4th, Night's Quiet is 5th, Wild Tiger Soul, and one's left behind. Still needs to get going because he's about 10 lengths off the leaders. They're coming to the half-mile pole, and Summerland is starting to kick away now. Summerland a length in front of Boeing, who tries to battle back. Here comes Night's Quiet up in the 3rd, Heart Borkin not doing enough, and Fire Breathing. Wild Tiger Soul gets the reins shaken at him, and here comes one left behind, closing the gap. They're into the stretch, and it is Summerland. He's got to hold off Night's Quiet. Boeing is done. Here comes one's left behind. It is Summerland still leading by 1/2 length. Night's Quiet is closing hard. Summerland and Night's Quiet. Is he going to get there? And Night's Quiet wins it by a neck. Summerland was 2nd, Boeing 3rd, then one's left behind, and Wild Tiger Soul. The official winner is Night's Quiet. This is a 2-year-old black colt by Atoko out of Shahira by Frayed. He was bred by the Steward, and Willie Carson somehow got away with buying this horse for only $3 million at the trial by summer sale. This horse probably should have cost like 13. But it only cost 3 because of an underbid, I assume. So, good job, Willie Carson. Willie Carson has been playing since year 36, and this is his first Stewards Cup win. Hey, 2,000 wins for Willie Carson. Good on you, Willie Carson. I'm going to stop saying your full name now. It's weird. Next up is the Juvenile Fillies, and this is a crazy field of 16, and that's a lot, and they're all better than you. So here's Nini to talk about them.
All right, we have a full field of 16 here, so let's not beat around the bush. Number 1 is Railside Affair. She's owned by Jake Tord and bred by the Steward. This filly was sired by Easy on the Eyes and is out of the Ice and Fire mare Neapolitan, which makes her a half-sister to the Louisville Oaks winner, Spectacular Affair. She's 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $13,500. She broke her maiden week 10 by a length and a quarter, winning with an 85 before finishing 3rd behind All of You and Makes Me Swoon in the 5-fitting light stakes. Number 2 is Etude, a homebred for Jolene Daner. This filly was sired by Easy on the Eyes and is out of the Firefly mare Sempra. 2 for 3 lifetime. She has earned $82,500 in her career so far. She first ran in a mile race week 7, and she didn't like that. She finished 7th, well beaten, but when she stepped up into a route race week 10, she won easily by 3 lengths, earning a 96 speed figure. She then won the Untappable Stakes at grade 3 by a neck over Spying. Number 3 is the aforementioned Spying. This Cleopatra homebred is sired by Spectre and out of the Keyboard Courage mare Comes Down to Courage. 1 for 2 lifetime, but has never been worse than 2nd. She's earned $40,000 in her career. She won a maiden special week 10 by 2 1/4 lengths with a 91 speed figure before finishing 2nd behind Etude in the grade 3 Untappable Stakes, earning a 90 speed figure in the process. Number 4 is You're the Sky. You're the Sky is owned by Danny Derby and bred by the Steward. This chestnut filly is sired by Tahoe and is out of Just One Kiss. 1 for 2 lifetime, she has earned $40,500 in her career. She broke her maiden week 10, winning a main special weight by a length and 3/4 with a 91 speed figure before coming back to finish 2nd behind Ziva in the Sky Flyer Stakes. Number 5 is Ziva. This filly is a homebred for Eric Nalbone, sired by Rambling and out of the amazing Because I Am mare Corona. 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $82,500. She broke her maiden by 4 3/4 lengths and earned a huge 99 speed figure for that. Next up, she won the Grade 3 Sky Flyer Stakes over You're the Sky and Soulmate. Number 6 is Maze of Love. She is owned by Jack Meyer and bred by the Steward. Sold as a yearling for $8.1 million, she's by After the Disco and out of the URIM mare May Angels Lead You In. 1 for 2 lifetime, she took 2 tries to broke her maiden, which she did in week 13, and right after that, Jack booted her right up into crazy competition, so she'll be looking to upset today. Number 7 is Underlying for Mike Bryant. She's a homebred for him and sired by Man of Mystery and out of the Father's Day mare Stocks and Jocks. 1 for 2 lifetime, she tried to win week 11, but failed to do so on a fast track before she went in 2 weeks later on a sloppy track in week 13. She led wire to wire throughout and won that by a length and a quarter with an 87 speed figure. Number 8 is Keep Hidden. Owned by Transfer Peru and bred by the Steward, she was sold for $3.2 million as a yearling. Sired by Spectre and out of the Father's Day mare Keep It Secret, she broke her maiden week 10 before finishing 6th in the Sky Flyer Stakes. Number 9 is Penguin. Penguin is owned by Laura Ferguson and bred by the Steward. She's sired by Man of Mystery and out of the Awake As I Am mare All That I Am, which makes her a half-sister to Heart of the Storm. 1 for 3 lifetime with 2 seconds, she's earned just under $40,000 in her career. She tried to win at a mile week 9, but finished 2nd behind Quiet Tigress before jumping up into a route race and winning by 5 lengths with a 98 speed figure. She then finished 2nd behind Misconnection in the Grade 3 Mercy Stakes week 14. Number 10 is I See the Light. She is owned and bred by Rebecca Rose Hepburn and sired by Heart of the Storm and is out of the Maelstrom mare Wish Upon a Star, which makes her a half-sister to Circle of Life and Be Prepared and Let It Go and a bunch of other good horses. She's 2 for 2 in her career. She won her maiden first stop, breaking it by a length and a quarter, earning a 95 speed figure before going into the Grade 3 Spirituality Stakes and winning that by 2 lengths. Number 11 is Il Mio Amore. She is a homebred for Pete Vela and is sired by Man of Mystery out of the Paramount mare See You Sometime. She's 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of almost $30,000. She broke her maiden by 3.5 lengths with a 97 speed figure and then went into the OKB Shensi Stakes week 13. She finished a nose behind Someone Like You, also earning an 87 in the process. Fun fact, her name means my love in Italian. Number 12 is Someone Like You, and she is owned by Louise Bayou and bred by Art Vandelay. She's by the Rising Sire Hold Above and out of the Rambling mare Adele, hence the name. She is 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of almost $58,000. She broke her maiden week 10, winning by 3 1/4 lengths with a 93 speed figure before winning the Okibi Shenshi Stakes with a 97, beating Ilmio More in the process by a nose. Number 13 is I'll Miss You. This filly is raced by Danny Derby and bred by Art Vandelay. She is sired by Doctor and is out of the Keyboard Courage mare Little Wanderer. She is 2 for 4 lifetime with $135,000 in earnings. She started her career on the all-weather before going into a mile race. She was unable to win either of those before going up into route competition, winning a non-winners of 2 race by 3 lengths over Voyeurism before going into the Grade 1 Trap Stakes, which she won by a nose over 1 heartbeat. Number 14 is Changed Direction. Owned by Lily Wilkins and bred by Art Vandelay, she's started by Grant and out of the Rambling mare Knuckleball. 1 for 4 lifetime, she finished 8th in her first start at a mile before going up into a route and finishing 2nd behind Near the Sky. She then won 3rd time out, beating Incinerating by 2 lengths and earning an 86 speed figure before she finished 3rd in the Avow Stakes by Even the Best and Will You Be Mine. Number 15 is Delicate, owned and bred by Nina Olsen. She's sired by Easy on the Eyes and is out of the Father Ralph mare Adorn. 3 for 3 lifetime with earnings of $135,000. This filly broke her maiden first time out, winning by 4 1/4 lengths with an 86 speed figure after leading throughout. She much ran the same in the Tempest Stakes 4 weeks later, where she beat Storm Heading East by a neck after leading throughout. Then in the Grade 3 Bodega Bay Stakes, she won by half a length with a career best performance of an 88 speed figure. Number 16 is Time to Let Me Go, a homebred for Mike Eaton. This chestnut filly is sired by Spectre and is out of the Vortex mare Alyosha. 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of just over $10,000. She broke her maiden 2nd time out, week 13 in Florida, by a length and a half with an 86 speed figure over Do Not Open. And that is the very full field of 16. Here is the steward for the call.
Yeah, this race is good. The horses are really good. Someone just messaged me and said I have high hopes for my filly because she is a scary. This is a field of 16. 3 of the 16 aren't freaks. Only 3. They're all here. Being a freak will not save you from running 15th or whatever that is. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about some of these horses and what they're named after. The number 1 horse, Railside Affair, which is funny because that horse is on the rail. That is a horse that I'm getting back eventually, and it's named after the time I met Jake Toward on the rail at Woodbine. Yeah, he was behind me, so take that. You're the Sky, another store bred that I'm getting back, and this one is named after the song Cecilia and the Satellite. Don't be afraid, Cecilia, I'm the satellite, and you're the sky. I really like that one. Ziva is named after Eric Nalbone's 3rd German Shepherd. I don't know. They inherited a 3rd dog somehow. The dog's name is Ziva. Penguin is named after the fact that penguins are the best things to ever be. And then there is Never Mind, I'll Find Someone Like You for Louise Bayou. Although Art Vandelay bred that horse. So let's just say there's a high probability I'm going to be singing. Okay? There you go. It's post time. For the juvenile fillies in the betting pool's at $12,000. What? I should go on strike. I'm going to just assume that you guys were so blown away by how good this field is that you couldn't even play it. Especially after I told you how many of them are freaks. You're like, yeah, whatever, I can't with this race. So. Okay, here we go. Juvenile fillies. 16 horses. How am I going to think I'm going to get through 16 horses? Cry. They're off in the Steward's Cup. Juvenile fillies and Spying broke very badly right to her knees at the start. Railside Affair bobbled along the rail too. It is Penguin who broke very smoothly and goes out to the lead. Underlying, Spying is rushed up hard, then I'll Miss You. Someone Like You and Delicate, then Keep Hidden, Maze of Love, Time to Let Me Go. Ziva in 10th early, then Change Direction. You're the Sky is 12th. Il Mio Amor. I See the Light is back 14th, and Etude, then Rail Side Affair is the early trailer. So Penguin is absolutely whipping out here. She leads by 5 lengths and the pace is very fast. Underlying is second and Someone Like You's there too. Those two are right together with I'll Miss You, then Spying, Keep Hidden, Delicate, Maze of Love, Time to Let Me Go, and Ziva. Those 9 are 5 lengths behind Penguin, but they're all within a length of each other. Then comes Change Direction, 2 lengths behind them. You're the Sky, I See the Light, Il Mio Amore, Etude, and then Rail Side Affair is the last of the 16. So no change in order as they come to the half-mile pole. It is still Penguin, then Underlying, Someone Like You and I'll Miss You, Spying, Keep Hidden, Delicate, Maze of Love, Time to Let Me Go. Ziva is starting to come on, and now they're coming around the far turn. Penguin, but her lead is down to 2. I'll Miss You is up into second. Someone Like You has been third for the last half mile. Here comes Ziva, she's fourth. Keep Hidden is dropping back. Maze of Love and You're the Sky from the back of the pack. They're at the top of the stretch. And Penguin, she's hit a wall. Can she hold on? Someone Like You is battling with her. Here comes Ziva between horses. I'll Miss You and You're the Sky. Keep Hidden there too. It is Penguin, but Ziva's up alongside. Someone Like You there. Ziva and Penguin, and Ziva's starting to draw away. It's going to be Ziva in the juvenile fillies over Penguin, Someone Like You, I'll Miss You, You're the Sky, Keep Hidden, Maze of Love, Time to Let Me Go, I See the Light, Il Mio Amore, Underlying, Etude, Spying, Change Directions, Rail Side Affair, and Delicate. The official winner is Ziva. Well, she's a 2-year-old chestnut filly, but I'm 90% sure the dog is black, so I call foul on this. She's a 2-year-old chestnut filly by Rambling out of Corona by Awake As I Am. Her alternate name could be Why Did I Win at a Mile and a 16th? This is a homebred for Eric Nalbone, who is now 3 for 3 lifetime, and she becomes the 7th zillionth Corona child to become a millionaire. Yeah, the Coronas, they're not bad at life. Next up, we have the last race of the day, the big one. This is the Juvenile, but don't forget that we will have contests later. They might be a little bit later, because I have to put my kids in bed eventually. So the Juvenile is in 10 minutes, and it is a field of 10. Tricky, tricky. Here is Nini.
All right, this is it, the big one. As we all know, the winner of this race will go on to be the early favorite for next year's Louisville Derby. So with that, let's get started. Number 1 is Walking Stick, owned by Abe Froman and bred by the Steward. He cost $5.8 million as a yearling and is sired by Be Prepared out of the wonderful mare Chocolate. 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $82,500. He came from the back of the pack to break his maiden by 2 1/4 lengths. After that, he won the Grade 3 Persevere Stakes by a neck over Rockets, who is also competing in this race. Number 2 is Mad World, and this is a homebred for Bill Outsilver. He's sired by Mohaman and is out of the Safe Passage mare Jilly. He broke his maiden week 7 in a mile maiden special, which he won by 2 lengths before going on to win the Grade 3 Canadian Steward Stakes by 5.5, earning a career best 94 speed figure. After that, he won the Grade 3 Henderson Juvenile by a length and a quarter over a Munsterman, before capping out his season so far in the Grade 1 Arcadia Futurity with an 83 speed figure. He is undefeated with earnings of over $200,000, but the question is, can he win beyond a mile, because he's never raced farther than that. Number 3 is Tarasenko. He is owned by Jerry Hardy and is bred by Art Vandelay. He is sired by Tahoe and is out of the Derby-winning filly Skyfall. He is 1 for 2 lifetime, but has never been worse than second. He won his maiden coming from behind with a 99 speed figure, where he dead heated with a horse named Zero, 6 1/4 lengths in front of the third horse. In the California Chrome Stakes, he ran into Prince Louder and finished second by a nose, but still managed to get a 100 speed figure. So this horse might be a little bit underrated due to the fact that he's not undefeated, but I would put him right up there with the 2 big favorites in the race. Number 4 is Outer Space, and he is owned by Mike Eaton and bred by the Steward. Sold for $2 million earlier this year at the 2-year-olds in training sale. He is by Excelsior out of the Harry Potter mare Great Stories. 2 for 3 lifetime, but never worse than second. He's earned $68,500 in his career. He broke his maiden week 10 with an 86 speed figure, where he came from the back of the pack to win by a length. Then he stepped up into a non-winners of 2 race, which he won by a length and a quarter easily with an 83 speed figure before going up into the Grade 1 Bubbly Stakes, where he finished second to Quo Vadimus. Number 5 is one of the big two in this race. It's Blue Bayou, a homebred for Danny Derby. This very nice gray colt is sired by Harry Potter and out of the Father Ralph mare, Let It Go. 2 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $43,500. He broke his maiden by 7 lengths week 10 with a whopping 100 speed figure before going on to win the Cape Stakes by a length and a quarter, earning another big figure, a 95. Danny Derby is very high on this colt tonight. Number 6 is Prince Louder, the other half of the big two, and he's a homebred for Art Vandelay. Sired by the up-and-coming Hold Above and out of the Harry Potter mare Enchanted Tiki Room, this black colt is 2 for 2 with $82,500 to his name. He broke his maiden by 5.5 lengths, earning a 100 speed figure before coming back into California Chrome Stakes and running another 100 speed figure to beat Tarasenko. The big question with this guy, is he going to bounce like a rubber ball after 2 consecutive 100 speed figures? We'll be finding out shortly. Number 7 is Rockets, and he's a homebred for Eric Nalbone. He's sired by Easy on the Eyes and is out of the Just Victory mare Aspirational. 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $40,500. He broke his maiden with a 96 speed figure when he won by 3.5 lengths. In his second race, the Persevere Stakes, he ran into Walking Stick, the horse who breaks from the rail in this race, and managed to be second, only a neck behind him. Number 8 is Special Salute. This is homebred for Kerry McBrien, is by Salute and out of the Just Victory mare Special Crush. 1 for 2 lifetime with earnings of $10,800. He broke his maiden second time out week 13, leading wire to wire and winning by a length with an 83 speed figure. He's taking a big jump in class today, jumping from a maiden special weight to the Grade 1 Stewart's Cup Juvenile. He's never run in a stakes race, and he'll be looking to upset the field today. Number 9 is St. Nicholas Day, bred by Art Vandelay and owned by Billy Anderson right now. He's sired by After the Disco and out of the Anointed mare, Ya Filthy Animal. 3 for 3 lifetime with earnings of $130,000. He broke his maiden week 10 down in Brazil with an 86 speed figure where he stalked the pace and won by a length and a half. After that, he ran in the Grade 3 Manhattan Stakes, which he won in much the same fashion by 2.5 lengths and earning a career best 90 speed figure. He duplicated that result in the Grade 3 Buckingham Stakes week 14, where he beat Bluebird Returning to win by a length with another 90 speed figure. Billy Anderson will be looking for his first Stewart's Cup victory with this horse. Number 10 is The One Moment. Owned by Scott Island and bred by the Steward, this colt was sold last year for $3 million. He's by the brilliant D.I. Hardy and out of the Braveheart mare Breathe. 2 for 2 lifetime right now. He's earned $70,000 in his career. He broke his maiden first time out week 10 in Florida by a length over Red Carpet Cove before wheeling back in the With Kind Regard Stakes 4 weeks later. He won that race by a length and a quarter over Turncloak, closing to win by a length and a quarter, earning an 86 speed figure. And that's the field for the big one, the Stewart's Cup Juvenile. With that, here is the Steward. Is the Steward here? I can't hear her.
Yeah,
There she is.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I had someone in charge of telling me when it was my turn to talk, and that didn't happen. So, sorry about that. Alright, this is it, the last race of the night, and this is the Juvenile. I love this race because as soon as it's over, it's like Derby fever, Derby fever, Derby fever. Is the Derby winner in this race? Did the Derby winner run week 15 Friday, where we have a bunch of those big graded stakes? Is the horse in a different race tomorrow? Is the horse somehow not racing this week, which is unlikely, but could happen? Let's give one big round of applause for Nini. She did an excellent job on her first night of emceeing, and I truly hope that she will join us for a Triple Crown race next year. Does anyone agree that that's a good idea? Yeah, you all do, because I'm in charge and I say it's going to happen. Three minutes to post. Get your bets in, please. I find this race a little bit interesting from an Art Vandelay standpoint because, as I mentioned in Daybreak, the reason he's still training is because he's obsessed with his horse, Prince Louder. The horse definitely has distance question marks. I mean, he's by Hold Above, who wants to go like 7 miles, but he's out of a mare that wanted to go like a mile. So what's that going to mean for the Triple Crown next year? This is the horse he opted to keep. He opted to lease out Tarasenko, who is the Tahoe Skyfall horse, who is insane and ran a 99 in his debut against Zero. Zero is another horse that he opted to lease out. Zero is not here today, but he did just miss in the Inglewood Futurity last week to another horse that he leased out named Thunder Run. Thunder Run, to me, is the horse that has the best 1.25 mile pedigrees by it. After the Disco, out of I Whirl and Dance, that horse wants to go 1.25 miles. It's very likely that all those horses that I just mentioned are going to be up for lease again next week. So what are you guys going to do about that? Are you going to lease out a Zero or a Thunder Run or a Tarasenko? I don't know. You could, though. That's the point. There's another one in here. Oh yeah, St. Nicholas Day. I knew there was another one. St. Nicholas Day. Another After the Disco. Undefeated, 3 for 3. This one will be available. Coming off a win in the Grade 3 Buckingham. So that's a thing. Is Eric Nalbone going to make it 2 in a row with Rockets? Rockets by Easy on the Eyes, which is a 1.16 gold mine out of a Just Victory mare. And so obviously, again, we're already like, oh, is this thing going to go 1.25 miles? Well, today that doesn't matter. And the Just Victory mare just happens to be out of Maryland Million. So that's not slow. Usually. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Blue Bayou. This is a horse that I've been waiting for since the day he was born. From the last crop of Harry Potter, out of Father Ralph mare Let It Go, unbeaten in 2 starts with a 100 and a 95. But being out of a Father Ralph mare, those can go either way. Is he going to want to go 1.25 miles? Let It Go is already the dam of a $1.4 million earner. Oh my gosh, she has a James Dean foal that is freaking ridiculously nice. Y'all just need to stop with your Whitney lined mares, this Corona and the Let It Go and all those things, because they're fast. Look at Walking Stick. Sorry, I'm distracted looking at all the Derby pedigrees in here. Be Prepared out of Chocolate, who's loved the 1.25 miles. That is a 1.25 miles creature right there. Put him on your Triple Crown Trail Stable. I gotta stop talking because it's time for the juvenile, and the betting pool closes at $40,000 even. And it's time for the one? No, surely more. $2 million juvenile. They're off in the juvenile, and it was a perfect break for all 10 runners. Prince Louder shows speed, but so too does Mad World, joined by Special Salute. Here's Rockets, then St. Nicholas Day, Tarasenko, and Blue Bayou. 2 lengths back to Outer Space, who is 8th, then The One Moment, and Walking Stick is the early trailer. So they go whipping into the clubhouse turn, and Prince Louder is dueling with Mad World. Those two are heads apart with Special Salute there too. Rocket a half length back alongside St. Nicholas Day, then Tarasenko, Blue Bayou, Outer Space, The One Moment, and then Walking Stick. So they turn down the backside, and it is Prince Louder leading by a neck over Special Salute. Mad World has dropped back 3rd, but he's still only a half length behind the leader. Rockets is there too. Then St. Nicholas Day, Tarasenko, Blue Bayou sits 7th. He's got 3 lengths on Outer Space, then The One Moment, and Walking Stick is still the trailer as they come to the half-mile pole, and Prince Louder, he now leads by a length. Mad World still battling 2nd. Here comes Rockets with an early move now. Rockets is up into 3rd and gaining St. Nicholas Day, and here's Blue Bayou. He's 5th and now 4th. Tarasenko is not doing enough. Special Salute and Outer Space are at the top of the stretch, and Prince Louder, he leads by a length, but here comes Blue Bayou breathing down his neck. Tarasenko's up into 3rd, and then Mad World and Rockets. It is Prince Louder, Blue Bayou right there. They're going faster than fast with Tarasenko 3rd and Mad World 4th. Prince Louder, can Blue Bayou get past him? It's going to be Prince Louder to win by a length over Blue Bayou. Another length back to Tarasenko 3rd, then Mad World, Rockets, St. Nicholas Day, Outer Space, and The One Moment. The official winner is Prince Louder. I almost said Prince Bayou. That's wrong. This is a 2-year-old black colt by Hold Above, out of Enchanted Tiki Room by Harry Potter. He is a homebred for Art Vandelay, and he's unbeaten in 3 starts. So just for fun, interesting sake, you know how I was talking about all the freaks in the juvenile fillies? There's less freaks, kind of. Not really, in the juvenile. To give you an idea of what like a really good horse number is, they're graded on a scale of 20 for each distance. So like you can be 15 at a mile, but only a 14.2 at a mile and a 16th, or you know, whatever, that kind of thing. So at a mile and a 16th, a really high number, like the highest number possible that you can be, I mean, it's out of 20, but like the highest number that I can remember is Sydney was a 17. So that's really high. And that was at like the height of his career when he was doing all the wins that he was doing. So in this juvenile, it went 16.4, 16.4, 16, 15.7, 15.9, 15.9, 16. So we're talking way down there. 15.6, 16, and 15.3. Those are good horses. You should buy them or steal them. And that concludes tonight's program. I do have to go put my kids in bed, so we may have to take a rain check on contests until tomorrow night. But if you won contest tonight, you'll get those prizes tomorrow. Sorry for the delay. I hope you guys had fun tonight. Cannot wait to join you for 14 races tomorrow. Very excited. Don't forget our Friday contest that Allie Hedgestone is running. Thank you if you've already entered today's contest or Danny Derby's contest. Yeah. Good job to all the winners and the losers, and good job to Nini. Okay, that's all. Farewell.